day on that one, but if they go back-to-back on losses on Dust2, it'll be really, really spicy. Mirage is going to be that decider as well. So for the most part, a pretty simplistic map pool, nothing too out of the ordinary in a sense. It's kind of going into maps that they value as strength rather than kind of the punish picks. But I don't know about you, but coming in towards this one, I'm seeing paiN as the favorite in this series. With kind of the form of FaZe that they've been bringing to the table, I've not been super convinced at all. So we shall see, but it is about time to get this show on the road. FaZe can be starting on that CT side, paiN on the T side, as we get our first series of day 2 in stage 2 underway.
Yeah, looking forward to getting our teeth into this one for sure. I think there's real potential for it to go the distance. Oh! Vent dive cancelled. Yeah, Jacob. Maybe we can see one more and he'll have a better scoreline than yesterday on that Dust2. We'll keep reminding him.
Oh.
Still in proceedings, still in the conversation. Julies of broky is kind of the big thing here, though, as he found a double in all that mess. Get themselves down below, bolster up the B bomb site, but paiN unable to break in. Couldn't get the player down vent, couldn't get through ramp in the end. So they have to completely approach this round, and well, Mr. Twist is ready for them. Takes one, takes a headshot. Does he want to stick around and fight here? NQZ going to be known about now, so surely has to go down. Flash comes in, he finds one on the fadeaway, definitely round the corner it felt like.
Look at this round that's progressing now though, right? Just under a minute on the clock. You've got Jacob, who's 1 foot in the grave, and Carrigan, who's in what potentially could be a one-and-done angle. And he also, they might just break the timing here. NQZ, there's a crossfire that's looming, but oh, it's all whether he can win that fight on Carrigan. Thankfully seen off, but that could have very easily fallen apart very quickly.
100%. Well, thanks to broky on the Julies ultimately. And kind of a lucky one there, actually. Not often that you see a pistol find the vent diving player like that. So yeah, pretty lucky that they get away with that one. Going to be the hard eco coming out. paiN looking to get the AKs as early as they can. Quite a lot of rifles over on that FaZe side of things, so I think they're going to be expecting that.
E7. Do a lot of damage in towards door. Could be a nice move to make some money here for Twists. But we definitely have big reservations about where FaZe are at. I mean, of course, the same thing has to be said for paiN. Played against the Mongols yesterday and wasn't maybe the show that they would want, especially as well because we don't really know what the ceiling's looking like. But there was nice moments, right? You know, double OT in towards that first map of Nuke, right? They took Mongols a distance there. Let's see. It ain't going to find. paiN is actually going to delete Jacob. That's just kind of a bit lazy in terms of the aim duel by Jacob. And he'll get punished. Drive by unarmored P250. Twist, they're looking for a little bit himself. He's going to take a lot of damage, and they're going to start barreling down on his position. Positive trades going the way of paiN. FaZe, let's not get ecoed here.
I'm nervous. I am nervous. I'm not going to lie. With all this kind of narrative that we're bringing in that, you know, FaZe have been looking shaky, to say the least. Frozen does keep his cool, though. And will manage to get 3 of his own in the end. But yeah, certainly some questionable moves. Look to try and keep it together here if they can. Just keep that damage coming, really, but it is going to be the AK buy that I think we're quite excited about here. See whether there is potential for paiN to start this Nuke campaign, you know, why they picked into it.
Yeah.
Or if FaZe can pick up some momentum. It's one of the things with this FaZe team, though, man, wherever they're at, whenever Carrigan is involved, it does get a little freaky. Nice Molotov there.
Yeah.
That's intentional to stop the bounce of that smoke. And as you see, it leaves a gap. So an adjustment now from paiN.
Great flash as well. He swung off the back of that. Could have been really naughty, but biggest error. Swing and a find. Looks for a second. Oh, biggest error. Ripping some heads. Jacob going to get caught in towards heaven. In a matter of moments, it's a 2 versus 5 turn 4. One caught outside as NQZ will go, and so will Snow. Bombs planted. There might potentially be legs behind it, but it's a question now for FaZe. Do you even want to give this top site retake a look in? Carrigan's pretty low. It's not an easy site to be sent into either. Well,
Yeah,
I think that'll,
see ya.
that should answer our question quite nicely. What a round from bigazera, though. The opening double are absolutely fantastic, and then A just to seal the deal, frozen or save. Maybe again, you know, as you can tell coming into the series, we're very worried about FaZe in this series, but just as a whole.
Yeah, sure.
And you know,
fan favorites FaZe, you know, everyone wants them to be performing well. The game benefits from Carrigan having a strong team.
But first gun rounds, they get owned. bigazera, you know he loves to fight. We know he loves to send himself into the fray, and beautiful work.
Indeed. But yeah, kind of a tough one. I feel like bigazera thrives in those types of rounds, so there's a bit of weirdness at the start. It's not quite gone to plan, and therefore he has to rely on his powers of deduction to sort of work the round out. And he does just that. Really well played from him, to be fair.
Yeah, he loves the pug. You know, if you want to fight, I'll fight. Like head to head against Carrigan, he's going to whip that aim duel out more often than not. You'd value him as a fragging IGL over Carrigan, but it's actually more so, can he find ways to break down FaZe in terms of the systems? Yes,
right. But kind of an IGL that's had a lot of praise. It's interesting. You know, they must have some secrets on him or something, the paiN management, because he's been there for, what is it, like nearly 8 years now, I think, something like this?
I think he's like the 4th longest serving player on one team. I think it's something like that. It was like, Crims is #1. So
okay, just over 7.
Yeah, just over 7.
I overshot slightly, but that's still
even
pretty crazy. Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it is, but I know Crims is obviously #1, and then like historically, it's obviously like, you know, the likes of your Reigns and JWs of the world and whatnot, but he's up there. He's definitely up there. VSM for a double. broky will get 1. He scoops himself up a rifle and dips away. Molly will force them into Heart, which could be very interesting indeed. Because you've got the bomb. This is really dicey, but he just mows them down. Hot control taken. I think if you're broky here, you might just save the rifle. I know you're going to have a buy-in towards the next round, but why not have a little bit of a stronger recon? He can drop the rifle over. He can pick up an orb. That's all a nice theory. He's not dropping a rifle. He's dropped dead.
Yeah, may well have been moving to save, to be fair, and just caught in transition. We'll never know, but indeed not going to be too much of a dire effect here. Stepping up pretty massively. I think paiN, at the moment, with where the form is at, I think they are better shooters, man. So it's going to be tough for FaZe to break this one down. You know, they need some of that magic, which I think is the big thing that's gone missing, right? Where a lot of people, you know, like to sort of sit back and be like, oh, you can never count them out. Keep watching. Don't worry, they'll get back into.
Yeah, you can absolutely count them out.
Yeah,
now.
They've just not had any games like that. They've not really looked that good since the major, really.
Yeah, exactly. Had that kind of fairy to run. And I think I saw a really good point. I can't remember off the top of my head who brought it up. It was on a podcast somewhere, and someone brought up the point that it actually potentially might have been Maui, but whoever it was brought up a point that run that they made was actually the worst possible thing for FaZe, because what should have happened is they had a bad run and then they made dire needed roster changes and you know, shoring up their side for the future. But however, that deep run at the major kept their side together, and we've kind of seen now that how one fluke has actually prolonged the pain, in a sense, the suffering ever so slightly.
Happens once in a while, I think, with a roster, you know. It's like, we really want Na'Vi, maybe another example. It's like, you know, we really want 1 or 2 moves. Jacob just doesn't feel cut out for this. Twist, I think, is kind of chilling. You know, he's playing with people that he enjoys playing with.
I still think, though, with it, like, you know, if this team started doing well and there was a decent team around him, like Twist would come back into his own.
But I think he's also happy just, you know, having a bit of fun or whatever. But at a certain point, it's got to not be fun. You know what I mean? I think the trade-off of FaZe is that, like, okay, you might have a tournament where you just bomb out last, but then the next tournament, you're going to make this crazy run, beat the best team in the world in, like, a 3-map legendary game, you know? So you kind of get it back. They've just not had that again, as we say. Bomb goes down on B here. There's some quick and easy trades flying in. Will be a save out from FaZe. I mean, they just have no presence downstairs.
Yeah, they want nothing to do with this B site. Yeah, I mean, talking about it, it's like, you know, Twist and Frozen, for me, you can keep both of those. I think as well, if you want to kind of keep Carrigan for now as well, again, I don't even mind that too much just because of maybe the lack of IGLs, but You know, there's been a lot of talk about kind of who would you replace it in terms of kind of Jacob and broky, and there's been a lot of options being proposed. All three will stay alive from paiN. We caught a bit of paiN as well at Krakow, and honestly, we were pretty impressed by VSM. He looks actually really quite solid. I caught a bit in sort of past teams in his career, and it always felt sort of maybe ever so slightly underwhelming, but honestly, VSM looks very comfortable in this paiN side. I think he's given a lot of freedom to kind of play the way that he wants, and it looks quite scary. I think when he gets going, he's really quite sharp, and haven't seen it just yet in this matchup, but it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for. He's been putting up some decent numbers for paiN. There's a little something about him. QZ. Look over towards ramp early. broky's actually been getting very aggressive in towards ramp, so it's definitely something that paiN are now aware of.
Change up from him in this round, but not going to see too much action. It's quite a laid-back setup from paiN, I think it's safe to say. They're expecting a round to come to them, maybe, given the fact that the econ is sideways here for FaZe. Frozen. Could be big if he gets the timing. Snow is being very cheeky here, trying to threat through. Just get away with it. Frozen down below, not ready for him at all.
Nice work.
And a big kill found, to be honest. One of the scarier guns taken out of the round.
And it's a ruse, right? Because they're actually going to go back over towards ramp. There's no presence here. So Snow draws attention towards outside, and the pack creep their way down B site. This will be another save again in just a moment. The question is, though, are they going to be given the luxury of saving once this bomb goes down in a moment? Surely, if you're paiN, you're a bit tempted by a hunt of some regard. I think you leave Snow towards top site here.
Yeah.
Put the bomb down and actually maybe even send Snow with somebody else to have a little look. They know there's no reaction. They know probably FaZe aren't going to give this too much of a look and maybe bar the pistols themselves. Try and drop that all.
It's true. Get the hunt on, right? They have good cash, not loads and loads, but good cash. In the same vein, they maybe don't want to go down and give weapons away. So yeah, just leave Snow by himself.
Crisp.
Absolutely clinical. Cuts through two. However, they were the distraction as the boys are looking to slip away to make sure that they solidify the save, and I think they will do just that. Oh, big Zera down to the bomb. Whoopsie daisy. Happens sometimes on Nuke. To be fair, it is one of those maps with stupid bomb radius.
Guess not the end of the world as well, like you're mentioning. Plenty of money to work around for the paiN side. And these are some pretty good T rounds that are being put up. 4 rounds already on the T side by paiN. FaZe don't look uber competitive since the guns have come into play. So a full buy back in for both sides now with that AWP rifle saved by FaZe and an investment around it. This is a round that they've really got to put on the board just to make life a little bit more uncomfortable, because paiN, it feels like they've been cruising in these last few. Bit of the push and pull with outside and ramp, and quite seamlessly taking map control.
Yeah, just able to keep it simple, I think. Twists in a pretty good spot here, but he will get his head ripped off. Not quite got that confidence to hold the angle. Trader's there for one. Will it be in for another? The answer is yes. Jacob doing very well, moving in between angles, recovering the position back. So all of a sudden, there's only 3 that remain. They're not ready for Frozen at all, and he mows them all down. paiN, finally, the simple style, the peeking style, will get the better of them as they just lose some respect for FaZe there.
Yeah, they do. That's a very lax round, it has to be said. Very sloppy. They're just trying to barrel in towards fights and assume that they can sort of out-aim them, and, well, it cost them. Nice work by Frozen. Not good isolation of fights, but, you know, a situation like that, like, where's a bit of util it's going to work with? The only thing is they didn't have a flash. It was only a molly and a smoke to work with for the pack of those 3. That's a nice round. That's one that you can really try and work on. Pariah and Bigger Zera, they combine well to give them space towards A. And Molotov in towards mini hits Karrigan, no less. So Bigger Zera knows he's here. And A that comes in towards Heaven will really deal damage on towards 2. I think already, FaZe, you're calling for a save. A quick A pop and an easy take.
sometimes losing a round in that fashion as paiN did before is like a blessing in disguise. You know, it's going to wake you up. It's going to alert you to the fact that you need to change things. And they, again, because they've not gone that deep, because it has been quite simple to start the game off, they have plenty of options available, right? What do they want to do here? And they go for the opposite end of the aggression spectrum, as it were. Flying straight in, trying to make that work. And it looks pretty damn good. Carrigan, forward man, again, just sort of distracting away. Catching an exit, but losing his gun. They'll still be able to buy here. Carrigan, for some reason, has got 10k.
Yeah,
he's where that's come from.
Last 3 rounds, that's why.
I suppose.
So he's never had to be rebuying in. He's
also not been dropping anybody.
Yeah, he's had an AK
feels
for
a
ages.
Little greedy. He's been gathering the money, you know, for a rainy day, and I suppose this is potentially a rainy day now.
Yeah, first time out to be taken here by FaZe. I think they're aware of the situation they're in. While the scoreline doesn't look too drastic, it's a 5-3. It's 5 rounds T-sides. Say it every time we cast Nuke. Golden number of 5. That's a really decent first half already put up by paiN, and there's obviously stark potential of a lot more. This is the damning position that we're in. FaZe know they need to cut the bleeding sort of here and now. And if they don't, they're going to be in a lot of trouble heading in towards that second half. That's where paiN will do a lot of their best work moving forward and towards the CT side. But it's a fantastic round. It's very simple, but it's very effective. It's one of those, if they go for back-to-back kind of aim-based rounds, paiN, and they lose both of them, they're in a lot of trouble. I think it really knocks the confidence. But because they just pull one right back in their favor with a quick pop towards A, it's again going to keep momentum pretty starkly in their favor.
Feels like a big swing round here. paiN able to get 6 on that T side already would be a really great number. And you can kind of feel that, to be honest. It's, again, slowed down a bit. paiN with this hanging back kind of style. They're going to get some smokes outside. Typically not a lot of action around those smokes, though. Maybe FaZe going to get used to that. There is the one player over there in snow, frozen. Good nade. Wow. Yeah. That didn't look like it was going to be that good, but it lands perfectly onto Biguzera. So we'll soften him up here moving into the final minute.
Oh, Snow. Left to lurk towards the A site and spots nothing. He's keeping the crosshair trained as well. He knows there's a possibility of more in through heaven. He could drag the pack back towards this top site because he sees no response. He's not spotting anything and he's waiting. They'll go back in towards lobby, and there's no lobby control taken by FaZe. They know they've got to pass to a plant here. This is going to be kind of difficult. FaZe need to re-aggress probably before the bomb even goes down to make anything of this round, but the thing is they can't. They're committed to holding down lower, and it's the wrong call, and Carrigan's not even in towards heaven. This is round lost. I think you should call for an early save.
Weird game state to deal with for sure. Carrigan moving in from on high, though. He is going to give this a small look. The tippity top of his head gets ripped off. That should be the save indeed, now being confirmed. paiN, as I say, with a big find, man. Moving up to 6. Feeling pretty damn confident, I think it is safe to say.
Yeah, they're waltzing through this T side at the moment. It's pretty uncompetitive, to be perfectly honest. FaZe are finding kills here and there, just maybe ever so like flashes of brilliance, but there's no consistency. There's no real form of them, and paiN looking pretty good. And it's all simple Counter-Strike as well, is the thing by paiN. Yeah. It's very, these aren't super in-depth rounds that are being thrown to the table. It's essentially one kill by Snow that wins them the round. I mean, Carrigan gives it a look in, but no one else is supporting him in that look towards A. It's one kill by Snow. A site's vulnerable. Also, even like a questionable place to play as well. The Snow is kind of a bit of a freebie in a way, but top of site, all alone, rather than back silo.
Sure. Another time I've been taken here. This is pretty quickly after the first as well. We've not seen a massive uptick from FaZe, and I think, you can kind of see by Carrigan, usually a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. He knows when to get serious, and he's certainly gotten serious here, I think, as the vibrations may be slightly off. Not quite the right hertz at the moment for FaZe and their usually good going charm. They're just struggling to get into the game, and it gets serious quite quickly. You don't want to be losing quickly here. The Dust2 is kind of up in the air. They probably have a bit of unsurety going into that one. Uncertainty for sure. So they need to pull off a pretty good showing here, if not a win, to be honest with you. And yeah, you don't want to be going down 0-2 so quickly, especially if you are FaZe. The expectations are high, man, but paiN Jr., after the timeout, on a mission of his own to find that first kill.
Yeah, paiN, constant pressure by him. He's really started well into this game. His 8th kill now, leading the way for paiN. One of the new boys with VSM, and really good in doing so. Twist, he's pushed aggro outside. There's an AWP at range keeping pressure on. How much can Twist get away with from here? Are they going to clear him properly? They clear him, but Snow just can't win the fight. The biggest error will trade well. That keeps the numbers in favor of paiN. Now, where is broky and the AWP? He's got the right read, but staying outside like that for broky is such a risk. So he knows he has to tuck himself back in towards A site.
Advanced position here from Karrigan could be beneficial in the moments to come. broky gonna smoke out.
Ooh.
Squeaky Frozen also crunching here. They have missed them, however, they get the important kill. And now the T-side have to turn around and deal with this. It's an absolute mess over here. In theory, Karrigan, though, traded out. Could be a big deal. The AWP's gone down. Frozen finds himself in 1 versus 2. You don't necessarily fancy his chances from here. They're going to make lots of noise. They're going to recover that bomb back. He takes the head of the first.
15.
It's some great movement here from Frozen. Got to get this frag. It's the only way in, and VSM is denied by the youngster. Super clean.
Yeah, that's brilliant from Frozen. Single-handedly gifts them another round. He did it earlier as well with a 3-piece. He does it here with a 3-piece. It's still concerning that this is the only way that really FaZe are winning rounds in these gun rounds, that you need basically Frozen multi-kills, but we'll keep taking as many as we can get. That's a beautiful little 3-piece from him. Such a good ice station again. It's that kill of the bomb, puts it in such an awkward spot, and at that late in the round as well, paiN had to spend so much time recovering it and then deciding what they want to do with it too. ESM just can't win out the head-to-head. Nice work from him, but at the moment, he's the only real shining light for FaZe. A couple more, just a little bit more online, and FaZe can start to compete in the tail end of this half, in towards the second. You get broky hitting a couple more. Twist a bit more online, and kind of a chance here.
I think they just need to be really careful that they do not want to be, you know...
Team
yikes,
nade.
man.
Team nade. Twist was tagged, so he's in main. He's trying to fall back to credit card, but broky's trying to break the smoke, so he team nades him, and Karrigan, he might have won for free here, but he's actually probably going to get checked. Oh my god, he actually just falls away, but surely Snow goes hunting now.
That would have been a team nade anyway. Like, even if he wasn't tagged, you're going to do, like, damage to him?
Yeah. He really wanted to break the smoke to shoot the cross. Oh my god, Karrigan's got to be dead right, surely. And maybe same for Jacob as well. Down goes Jacob to paiN. It's Karrigan and Snow. Have they just waltzed around each other? They have.
They must have done somehow, yeah. Like, he's dropped out the vent just as he went around the corner, potentially.
Ring around the roses.
That is crazy. Frozen, meanwhile, trying to contact in. He gets taken down on a no-scope. Karrigan does get a catch in from behind. They'll be questioning that, I'm sure. 20 seconds could get a bit freaky out here. They know the location of these two players, so should be able to break in towards the A bomb site. It's taken them quite a lot of time to get over here. Karrigan somehow does not go down. He will move a bit too quick for broky to trade him, though. They tried to maybe deny that bomb plant. Doesn't work out. What can broky find here? Spots the player at the back vent, but cannot get the AWP up fast enough. It's 7 now for paiN, and that feels like a really great scoreline going into the second half.
It's a great trade as well from VSM. He just plays off contact. I love that little angle as well, where you're not actually tucked in ult vent. You're playing just under the rafters. You're covered unless there's a deep swing, but yeah, it could have been really funky. That team nade, though, is just, in the end, actually so costly. It's a glaring error. It's paiN who have guaranteed a lead at the turn of the half as we head into the final round of the first. And 7 already. You're pretty happy with this. Any more would be fantastic. broky should have got that one for free, but he actually misses opportunity, and paiN again will open things up. He continues to shine, playing through single door. And he continues to punish FaZe on these sloppy mistakes that they're making.
Curious to see what paiN go for. Actually got a lot of players outside, which has not been all that common for them. looking to get some more smokes down here. Carrigan, meanwhile, he's been on this move a lot, bro. I think they're going to be ready for it this time. Just trying to find a slightly different timing. He's going to go for the peak by the looks of it, though. We'll see how it pays out for him. They seem aware, though. Nade comes in. He still looks set. Oh, they just can't quite catch the player. They try and crunch in. It's not worked out. FaZe with a few individual moments here to give them some rounds, give them a lifeline ultimately. But as a team, they've not looked as good. VSM to close out proceedings and 8 rounds on your T side. That feels like a winnable scoreline. That feels like a scoreline that usually when we see it, we say, okay, maybe not 100% over, but it should absolutely be enough for paiN to work with. FaZe, anything is always possible with this team, but that kind of storyline is dying off into 2026. We'll see if that's the case in the second half.
All right, welcome back in. We're looking forward to the second half, but we're very impressed with paiN in the first. We already said when we hit the 5-round mark for paiN that this is a fantastic first half already, and they added plenty more rounds to the board, finishing 8-4. And unfortunately for FaZe, bar Frozen, there wasn't really a lot to like there, if we're being completely frank. So let's see how this pans out. We love this guy, though. The first half from Pariah, so good in towards single door. He was constantly putting pressure on towards the A site, and FaZe just couldn't find ways to shut him down. He now finds himself tagged in Garage.
Yeah, taking some damage early on, but certainly left to his own devices, he looked pretty damn effective. Oh, and there you go.
So confident.
They leave him by himself outside, and he's able to do the same sort of thing. Clean stuff. As he will slowly look to join the team. I'm sure Molotov over the top here. Bursting out into the Julies, though. Snow, only one. You love to see those Julies get multi-frag moments because Zera's the player that lets us down as well as he gets no kills. So 3 versus 3 and a bomb plant now coming in. Riot Jr.'s a little low. It's so awkward to retake this top site at the best of times. VSM moving in from behind quite fast. Quite fast, but they are ready for a flank. Looking good here. Julie's getting involved. Oh, it's down to the one-on-one, and unfortunately just cannot correct up. Twist's angle will work. It's a sigh of relief, but it's still not the easiest of rounds, man.
Yeah, it's not a bad attempt at all by paiN there. They kind of dive in from 2 different areas, and they're trying to isolate fight. The only thing really is if VSM is just a little bit more trained on that angle, then something could have come to play. But I think you're right. I think the duelies you generally expect a little bit more than just one, especially at a close angle like that. That'd been the case. Could be a different round, but it's not. FaZe start their T side well, and the hope is that this is how they mean to go on. We're going to force from paiN. FAMAS Scout, MP9 are the better weapons on offer to Deagle, and a 5-7 to round it out, and very limited utility as well. 2 smokes and a flash for the remainder of this round. So, let's see what they try and do with it. Another smoke that'll give Twist a cross. paiN will be that first point of contact. Twists from this angle should have paiN dead to rights. He's got the drop on him. He's snuck on by. paiN doesn't know about this. In every way, Twist should be winning. Snow did this a couple of times and got away with it. Flick to the right like this. Up and to the right as well. Surely he should never win this engagement, but let's see. It's kind of patience. One of you's got to
No one's moving, yeah.
Come on, lads. One of you's got to make a move. Here we go. And now it is. Twist will win it as expected. And now we can take secret control.
Yeah, just keep the CT side confused, if nothing else. Maybe having to move resources downstairs. Looks like they're not moving loads. So they're letting him get away with it and just feeling confident to bolster the upstairs side of things. And they kind of would be correct here. So we'll see. Oh, if they can hold Big Zera melting, and he's flashed as well there. Loses one of the players to support him. It's the scout at the back end of Silo that looks a little freaky here. Clean headshot, NQZ. Surely not has done enough. Surely not. He's going to have to go crazy from here. There's no additional help, and indeed, he's like, come on. I'm hitting these crazy shots. Where are my teammates? But
yeah,
not to be, unfortunately.
NQZ chomping at the bit there for more kills. Honestly, it's a great effort. It really is. He tagged one as well, so you're thinking that he has a chance to see him off, but good effort. Honestly, really good effort. Might have even been the play to pull out the pistol at the end there, but he just does such great work. That shot towards broky, lightning
Another
fast.
guy tagged as well.
That's what I mean. He tagged him, so he's feeling confident about it, but he stayed tucked in towards hot, and he knew that he'd got the damage off, but he'd not been able to see him into the grave. Not a bad effort on the force buy, but a 2-round game, most likely going to be a 1-round game in just a second. Flash in. It's a beauty of a flash as well, but it'll work against them.
Oh!
paiN for a double D, because he looks for 3. Oh, paiN! Lightning fast with a hand cannon, and he's put FaZe into an early grave here in this round. It was a non-investment and a nothing brought to the table, and Twist left with it all to do in a 1 versus 3, and he fluffs his lines. VSM sees it off, but paiN, that is brilliant.
Slamming them, absolutely slamming them into the canvas. Unbelievable clotheslines.
This third shot is so quick as well. Perfect.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. I mean, maybe one to watch. He's having a great game here against FaZe, you know, and when you come up as a player, these types of games, these types of matchups have got to be the ones that you look forward to, and playing against these players. Sometimes you can get slightly nervy, but he's doing the opposite. He's delivering. He looks absolutely fantastic. That's an isolated round of greatness, but the first half in general was pretty damn good.
Yeah, we brought him up like 2 or 3 times for like some of the individual work he was doing. Generally speaking, it was the space he was creating, right? We saw on that T side like how efficient he was in terms of taking certain duels towards single door and giving them outside control or giving them main control or allowing them to wrap in towards the A site. But I mean, his confidence is incredible. He's just brilliant right now. I think this sort of position, I feel like we're now starting to see a paiN side as they even saw the player comes at the end. They're kind of laughing. They're loving life, and NQZ's hitting shots. He's just picking them apart with the support of bigazera. These pistols are being put to bed easily. paiN are flushed with confidence right now. It is flowing through them. I don't think they can lose from here. Not on this map.
I mean, the thing you got to remember as well with where the mental's at, like, they lose the pistol, they lose the Force, fair enough. Force comes a bit close, that's got to feel good. Then they were on the Eco, and they actually won the Eco, so we've not seen them get a conventional rifle on rifle, which is, I think, what they were waiting for, and why the vibes were still pretty decent over there, despite the fact that, you know, FaZe had managed a mini gap close, as it were. But now they're going to be, feeling absolutely fantastic. This is the first proper rifle round, and honestly, it sets paiN up in very good stead. If they win this, I think map is right around the corner for them. And in a pretty one-sided fashion as well, so they can feel confident moving into a Dust2 that I think they're not going to be fully afraid of, honestly. Yeah,
especially all they have to do is look at the demo yesterday. What did G2 do well? Will do the same. That shot by NQZ again. Towards outside, he's having an absolute whale of a time. He just keeps isolating duels as down goes Jacob, and he's, you know, having a poor map for him. 6 and 15 for Jacob. Didn't used to be an underperformance. He had a struggled day yesterday. 1 and 15, I think it was, on that D2, and we'll see. Frozen. Nice find. He'll drop the informed Pariah, and he also catches Snow. Oh, he nearly had the third. The crosshair was in the right spot, but bigazera crouches underneath it. EV3, they've actually kind of got a bit of time to make a decision where they want to go, too.
Yeah, there's a lot to work with here. There's a lot, but the problem I think that they have on the FaZe side of things is they lack some decent info, like some fresh info.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to try and get together, be confident in their call.
Top site is the play, right? That's where they've got a chance. It's bigazera, who's also tagged a little bit. And considering the time, they do have to go here.
Weird angle from bigazera as well, so we'll see what he can do with it. Flash comes round, here's them running in, able to take the first. Did he spot the second? Not quite sure. He's now looking to play the time is the big thing here. Oh, man. Garrigan just flies by, ignores him, jumps around the corner, gets the bomb plant. Able to reset the game here on top of each other at the back end of Silo as well. Is the play that they've gone for, spreading wide. And it's a FaZe clan round if ever you've seen it. Oh, my goodness. How do they get away with that?
Yeah, they have no right to win that one, FaZe, but they do. bigazera maybe needs to be a little bit more aggressive there, knowing that he nets the first. Fighting in towards that bomb is probably actually where you've got a better chance. But yeah, not to be in the end. Frozen, his double here is actually really important in the long-term kind of prospect of the round. But yeah, unfortunately for bigazera, he's just got to go a bit earlier. He's got to go before that bomb's gone down.
Still feeling good, still enjoying themselves, which is cool.
I think they know they've got such a nice runway, and they're on the CT side as well.
But that is, yeah, absolutely. Which fair enough, I think, because could get a little scary if this one drops. But I was just going to say as well, to be on the end of that, that is kind of a classic FaZe round.
It is,
you know, like a little contact heavy, but just Carrigan like jumping across with the bomb. I think most players are trained and taught to take that peek. They know bigazera's there. It's like, oh, I got to get this peek. I got to kill this guy.
Yeah.
Carrigan's just like, you know, little Mario bounce noise as he jumps around the corner and gets the plant because he knows he probably can't kill that guy.
Yeah.
You know, so, but it works.
Strengths and weaknesses, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. 3-round buffer, that paiN hold over FaZe, the 3 rounds away, of course, from seeing off their map pick. Let's see, broky will be boosted up as he looks for a cross towards outside. Of early control looking in the direction of outside, but paiN aren't playing it. They're not doing any garage control. NQZ traditionally, the last couple of rounds, have been playing through lockers. This time he's deep, basically, by spawn. On the smoke. Being spotted behind it. He might just go back to his lockers position, which he's had a lot of success from.
Very different from FaZe, isn't it? That they like working outside much more intuitively rather than just faking it out, sending one player. They've got quite a few actually looking to make space. Twist very lucky to get across there, by the way. Missed the timing on those smokes.
And gives you double back to ramp, right? Rather than sticking and holding the outside control. So you're right. Very fortunate. The second time I was asking, oh my god, he was tempted to kind of go back up, top secret. NQZ just commits on the cross angle. He gets one for free. He's going to dive in towards A though, and it might be the right call because the bodies are flying in here, but it's Carrigan for 2. Oh, broky going to find one of his own as well. This is surely the round. Surely the remaining 2 of VSM and Biggest Era. You just shell up and save here. Dive in towards the A site, and it didn't look excellent, but they just win their Angels.
It's another head scratcher. It's a real quick contact flash. I think Carrigan might have even moved ahead of the flash that was designed for him. But yeah, the shot's landing and playing together quite nicely. Still loose enough, and a couple players that have the freedom and the confidence to do their own thing. For the most part, FaZe and what they do. Little taste of it here. Will it keep them rolling to this gap close and maybe to a snatch of a victory? We'd sort of called paiN early.
Terrorists win.
You never know, we may come to regret that here now.
Yeah, it's true. These last couple of rounds showing there's a little bit of something about them. Carrigan, that second kill in particular on towards Snow is really, really good. And NQZ, in hindsight, staying in towards Heaven might have been the smarter play. Even as well for finding one as they're kind of diving through main, but then also on top of that, probably holding for that kind of late play as Twist was still around Secret, coming back to join them in towards main. All easy to say with the benefit of hindsight, but this is a kind of a nothing round. This should be a one-round game. Got a double M4. A deagle for paiN. No surprises he's gone for that after that previous round, and a couple of USPs. So an eco. Round the 2 saved. But a lobby crunch. VSM spotted here. Frozen for the first. He knows there's a second. They might actually just completely leave lobby control and just go and take control elsewhere. Pick up the bomb and just get out of there.
Yeah, for sure. It's good information for them to work with. Twist, again, working down Secret. SM, the only player outside that looks to be any threat. He will go down to the AWP. It's going to be a nothing round here, it feels, from the paiN side of things. And how we bring it within 1, you know, really, really quite close. A hell of a lot closer than I think we were expecting things. paiN were expecting things, as we've said a couple times. Smiles
Carrigan.
still on their faces and whatnot.
Cerebral.
Yeah, lovely find from him. It's not looking good, man. It is the last defense of their lead in the next round.
And it's so perplexing as well because paiN looks so comfortable in the rounds they were winning.
Yeah.
And then all it took was 1 2v3 converted for FaZe, and it's completely flipped the script. It's just, again, sort of how FaZe can be. They can kind of level up at a random point. Carrigan's having a fantastic game as well. But we'll see. There's still a rifle down here, but it's only for 1. It's not good enough for Snow. And the last round of paiN all the way down on that B site. Might get a test of Twists in a second. He shouldn't win this fight though, paiN. It'll be a tough one for him to win. And he'll lose his head. So you know, if it's a pretty easy one for FaZe as well against that non-investment. 1-round game. You lose this paiN, and I think you might cost on the map.
No, it's very true. And the whole thing gets very weird. Moving into map number 2, don't quite know what to make of it. As you say, there was a small moment of like, that's annoying, should have won that one. And maybe, I think it's 2 things, you know, it's knocked some confidence, but it's also built the FaZe confidence up in a really big way. As can often be the case. broky trained in on this AWP. He might see some action. It feels like there's 1 or 2 players that want to go pushing in towards lobby. Meanwhile, the main crux of the attack is over here at ramp. It's VSM. On the other side of it, does he have anyone nearby to support? The answer is no.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty scary.
Kind of got to go huge here. Thank you, Z-Will, though. He needs 2. If he goes 2 for 1, it's fine. 1 for 1 actually might not be enough. Let's see, flashes round. There's the first. He can't get the second. It's actually a really effective trade by FaZe. Sure, numbers don't favor them, but the fact that they can now, as a 3, move in towards this lower site is good.
No.
Oh, great
man,
swing.
does not deliver at all. NQZ going to be here with the AWP. He also misses the shot and will go down. They just keep this relentless aggression going. Twist not letting go of W the whole time. Crazy moves as the FaZe clan seemingly have found that magic, have found that mojo that we know them for. Twist, for example, really quiet first half, and he's worked his way up with a good 6 impact frags, I would say, into this second
Yeah,
half.
agreed.
Really, really solid second half from him, doing his job, confident in the calls and in the game plan. paiN do not have an answer at all. I mean, they were set up.
Yeah.
They had players downstairs in pretty good time there.
They just get trampled on. It's a lovely kind of play. Both Twist and Jacob, 2 kills apiece, which are so important. This game's tied, but like we said, losing this for paiN just might completely knock the confidence. And especially losing in that fashion. Like I said, for BSN, he probably needs 2 there, only gets 1. But then both these kills around double doors, like NQC should be getting 1 for damn sure, and same for Snow. Both of them should be delivering at least 1 in a spot like that, and they just get swung upon. They miss opportunities, and they've allowed FaZe back in towards this game. paiN going to call for their second time out, but this is a dire spot actually now that the Brazilian side are in. The money's not great. bigazera saved an AK, but that's as good as it gets. The buy around is pretty rough. I think you probably want to be half buying here, to be honest. Half buy here, full buy next, and hope that you can just squeak it out at the tail end of the regulation. But it was all laughs and smiles a couple of rounds ago for paiN, and it's now anything but. The vibe has seriously changed over towards paiN, and it's kind of all their own doing.
Yeah, and I want you to remember where the rounds come from on this CT side as well. They found well, I say they, paiN Jr. found an absolutely nuts Eagle round with insane timing, with insane mechanics. I don't think he's had a kill since then, though. Actually, I'm pretty sure he was on 17 kills after that mental move. And then it forces an eco out from FaZe, and then they're right back on the guns, you know, as soon as they possibly can be. And they've looked good from there on in.
Well,
fast towards A. We'll see. Yeah, paiN Jr. does finally get a kill back, but it's not going to be the multi-frag moment that he had last time. Can anybody else step up to the plate here? Lovely smoke. bigazera with an aggressive swing in. VSM goes down to the fire. Who's shot him up? Nobody knows. It's 1 versus 2 all of a sudden for NQC, and he has gone unspotted. Frozen walks into the bullets on low HP. 1 dink could have ruined his day, but not going to be the case. FaZe will see it off just about.
Yeah, that was nearly a fumble at the end there by just walking in towards what he was spraying. It's this double molly that comes through. 2 of them dying in it, as they wanted to dive out of heaven through the smoke but into the flames. A 1-round lead for FaZe. What a recovery from them as well. Looked so lackluster in the first half. Especially after that pariah round, I thought it was all but sealed here. Anything but. We're back into a buy, and this is basically to keep paiN alive here. Twists. You'll overlook the close angle, so nice work from bigazera.
Yeah, changing things up a bit, getting aggressive outside.
And from VSM.
On that secondary AWP.
Yeah.
I knew.
First time we've seen it.
Needed a big change, I suppose, and, you know, some more forward-facing, not afraid to take the fight. That being said, FaZe have also picked up the pace in the previous and into this round. Moving very fast, getting ahead of smokes, just trying to force the first fight. Feeling like they need to change things as we get to the tail end of regulation. Question mark. Could be an overtime on this one. VSM.
Good molly.
Back end of the silo. He'll get Molotov'd out himself, though, and broky peeks perfectly. Didn't even see him come round that corner. It's gorgeous. Are there any more on the cards here? There's a player down below on the control stairs. The molly goes behind him. Snow has a chance here to get something done. It's difficult for the first. For the numbers, it doesn't matter. Just going to look good. bigazera nearly melting again to fire. Snow keeps the kills coming. It's all going to be on broky. Opens up single, trying to bait them in. There's another AWP to deal with, though. That might be difficult at this kind of range, but he just does not know where they're coming from. bigazera takes him down. And paiN, of course, as soon as the scariness is right around the corner, they'll be back.
Yeah, an incredibly necessary round taken by paiN, and that's one that you hope can bolster the confidence a little bit. You know, only the 2 casualties, 3 staying alive. You're pretty happy with the outcome of how you find that. Snow's second kill is really important too. The first was a little labored, but he re-aggresses in towards radio. The shot from broky is lovely. Just the second one here, though. He makes a great move at a great time, just to catch Jacob in transition. And he's just caught so off guard. 11-11, the full 24 required here, and potentially and some. We had plenty of overtimes yesterday, and maybe we bring adding the curse to the B stream of more here. We'll see.
Yeah, the production team behind us quaking in their boots. One long day we can manage. 2 long days in a row, you know, that might be strike territory.
Yeah. Oh, Doc Op, eh? Break on the smoke, and it might be a second behind it as well as they're tempted by the cross. NQZ's back into his, what's formerly a strong position of lockers. They're going to sneak on by as they hug that smoke closely to get a safe passage towards Secret.
Big difference from FaZe. Probably the first team I think we've seen going for a cross with the smoke as a team.
Yeah.
Or as a core at least, as a pack. Neither side has really wanted to give this kind of round a go. Making things out ever so slightly. They'll spam away. There's not much more that they can really do, but they come back up. And NQZ has free reign to take some peeks. He only goes in for one, not going to bite off more than he can chew in his opinion. He has his eyes on heaven, so he's reading this situation really, really well right now.
He's
25
so
seconds.
Got to be going A. They have to. They have to commit. They're going to dive in, but pariah's going to go for lobby control at an apt time as NQZ repositions. Pariah will support, and it should be all she wrote. VSM from in behind. What a response of a round. It starts with NQZ. It is closed by VSM. That's the kind of round that paiN needed. We get the impact from Pariah that we've called upon plenty of times throughout this map, and he comes up huge once again. He keeps bailing them out of dicey spots, Pariah, and that A site, that's completely his territory. Map point paiN on their map pick. And when it felt like they might have just squandered this opportunity and allowed FaZe too much control and allowed them in towards this nuke, right at the tail end, they might be ripping it from their hands. We do have money for a buy, and we do have one more timeout for FaZe. But Twist is going to bring a Galil to have a bit of util. Karrigan only has a smoke, so they're right at their wits' ends of this econ.
2 things to note. One, I don't know why everybody's so afraid of going downstairs and just trying to, you know, work the white walls and everything.
Yeah.
Little strange. They've just not got that in their wheelhouse. Second thing, we have that timeout there. Karrigan, not the vocal one.
Yes.
So I think it's maybe a coach timeout. It's Neo getting on the microphone.
Me?
Yeah, you. I don't know, what would you say right now?
That's lock in, fellas.
Yeah, fair enough. No, hey, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. But yeah, either way, I think maybe Mighty Karrigan slightly out of ideas and just trying to go through the motions here and let things happen. Also worth noting, he swaps onto the Galil. So that's good to see in a way.
Yeah.
Get Twist on that AK, been having a pretty good T-side as we know. Biguzera outside here, smoke's coming in. He wants a fight. He wants this peak. Spamming away, he was close. He's about half a second too late on that. Meanwhile, with all this noise going down, where is Twist? He's worked his way into the warehouse real fast.
They don't know.
They do not. He takes the first. Maybe could have gone for some more, confusing the situation. They know there's another player around Mini. He's going to check his angles cleanly. And that's why Twist has got the AK, so that he can take the heads. Call it the Canadian version 2.0. Super clean here, and might just have given them enough to get into the OT.
They know that Snow's angle's a possibility as well, and Twist's like a shark smells blood in the water, but he'll lose his head.
Oh, and Karrigan had a nade out.
I know.
Surely was there to trade him.
Snow's he's stuck is the issue. broky's going to see him off. He knows that he can't escape from here, but it's Pariah again. He stepped up before, but not here. Frozen comes in late from single, and it's all on NQZ. We're going OT here. We said it a little bit earlier that maybe we're cursed for it, and potentially this game reeks of it, and it does. NQZ, the last man, that's all that's left, and, well, he's spotted out, so nothing to come forward from this. He'll have a late look, but this is all but done. Overtime required here in our first map of the day. Nothing but long series for me and you, Scriv.
Yeah. I mean, you said it, you know, it smells of overtime. At one point, I would have said not, you know. FaZe on a pretty strong streak, and then seems like they just fully lost their energy. They managed to battle back. Really, really well done from them. Things fun and interesting here, as they are subtitled the most entertaining team in Counter-Strike, and
yeah,
they're definitely living up to that moniker in this one.
It's kind of for better or for worse, isn't it, as well, with the sides.
Yeah.
entertaining.
I'd hate to be like a solid fan of this team, really.
Yeah. You wake up every day and like, what is my team going to do today?
Yeah. Randomize your calendar.
Yeah.
You know, let
It's like being
Siri decide what you're doing for the day.
No, precisely.
Other AIs are available.
Sort of like being a Spurs fan, really.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good time, mate. I'm gonna be headed, you know, watching my home
Spurs
team.
in the championship.
Yeah.
FaZe
Mighty Lincoln going up.
FaZe and CCT.
Yeah. It's very similar. FaZe versus like Ill Will, you know.
Yeah.
For the grand final of CCT 17 or whatever.
That's what they need to qualify for the Singapore major, something along those lines.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. God, what a dark timeline that would be.
yeah. Biggest error. Wielding the secondary AWP here. Funny enough, it's not NQZ. It's VSM and Biggest error wielding the AWPs. And NQZ, who's been so good with the AWP as well, is on a rifle. I'm assuming this is a kind of spawn base, but as we get this late portion towards the round, NQZ, there's no way he's going to be able to get himself an AWP. He's kind of just got to try and get something from this.
way.
How about two? No, it's only one because of the plan. It's a team flash as well that catches NQZ, by the way. So that'll make his life a little awkward. paiN's surely dead to rights. There's just too many bodies. A Biggest error. We don't see him on the AWP all too much, but how's he going to deal with it? Well, they're diving down Ven.
It's overtime. They're pulling out the scared strats. Things they did not go for in regulation to try and catch their team off guard, or their opponents off guard, I should say. And this is, again, something that FaZe will do. We might see that outside fast commit down secret because they love saving a couple strats for the OT. Got a few players in this team that just love these crazy close games. Big Uzera with a quick scope, however, make things a bit more interesting, taking matters into his own hands. Twist is left. Snow's going to be watching for him. Here's him now as well, but the bomb's just going to get defused. He's not close enough to the action. paiN somehow coming out on top of that one. Big Uzera with some crazy, crazy shots.
Yeah, two brilliant kills from Biggest error. Honestly, kind of single-handedly gives them any life in that round. Without the two kills taken in the fashion that Biggest error takes them, paiN don't have a chance in that round. The post one actually did have legs behind it. The first one's fantastic, but the second as well, it's on a crack angle. Yeah, NQZ.
Kind of while moving, it felt like as well, you know, so really quick counter-strafing.
He should have had two dead to rights. That is a quick shot, though, onto Carrigan. NQZ gets quite unfortunate, honestly, with that team flash. Really sells them down the river a little bit, but who cares? paiN found the round. They open up the proceedings in towards overtime. They should be getting at least 2 out of the 3 rounds on this CT side. We'll see. Both teams put up 8-4 halves on the T side. Carrigan, his blood lost. Where was he looking? Nade in hand.
A little bit.
It's an easy one for NQZ.
It's a great break, though. The breaks usually come in like from the side on Nuke, right? A little closer for a completely different angle, so just not expecting it. NQZ holding very strong over here. They're flashing in, trying to take him down. He will be unblinded, though. Yeah, and it's too easy.
Jacob's got to go quicker.
He's got to go, man. He's lacking some confidence against that AWP, really. And maybe lacking, you know, the confidence of the flashers and everything. And again, it just speaks to the dissonance in the FaZe clan right now. Really coming to a head with a moment like that. All the same, 5 versus 3 should be paiN's 14th here.
Frozen and broky. Both have actually had pretty decent maps, in all fairness. Frozen in particular has kind of bailed FaZe out of a couple of rounds, 2 of which he got 3 pieces in, but surely impossible here. We'll see. broky for the first. Nice final towards Biggest error. We'll try and give them space down towards lower. And as Frozen finds paiN, this will open the door a little bit. Bomb planted a 2 versus 3. broky somehow given the luxury of getting out. And he's also spotted him in towards this close left. VSM playing a dangerous game, but it's all on the shoulders of broky. Now needs a quad clutch in this 1 versus 3. Already with the first. He knows the shoulders peeking out. Flash ineffective. He finds one, but a quick trade on contact. paiN, they allow him to set up, but they know they can just overwhelm him with numbers on an AWP. Not a bad effort by Frozen and broky, but just too many kills to find in the 2 versus 5.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. This whole overtime feels like it's going to be a lot of work. paiN with a resurgence, you know, it often happens to CT sides and teams that maybe feel the pressure of regulation, but CT sides especially, right? You have this money that you got to worry about all the time. Come into an OT, not necessarily the case. Maybe you're AWPer, That's about as far as it goes. But if you win in rounds, if you win that first round, you're sorted. So, yeah, could be a flawless first half of this OT for paiN if they continue playing like this.
You're right. Ooh, nice nade. Really nice nade. karrigan taking a lot of damage, and from the heavens, pariah for 2. He continues to be a stalwart defense here for this A side. He was tempted by the dive down as well, you could tell, but NQZ gets a freebie outside. Twist overlooks the angle, and NQZ just punished them in that previous round from. And once again, it's broky and Frozen in a 2vx situation, this time a 2v4.
Just not good enough, though, the utility to get into A there. Just really not good enough. Nobody blinded up. It's going to be Frozen all alone here to try and clutch up a crazy highlight moment on the cards, but he gets overwhelmed, hits the shots that he can, but you can only shoot at one person at a time in theory. Unfortunately, like I say, though, just not good enough from FaZe with that utility. Call's a little lazy, kind of wanting to get out of here ever so slightly. In the same vein, nothing seems to be working. But they have hit this groove of like, oh, it's overtime, so we can just throw the kitchen sink at every single round and force our way in. And sometimes, at one time, that may well have worked, but they've lost the X factor, dare I say, you know, the rain factor. May well be the case. Especially on a map like Nuke, he would have been great here.
Yeah, a stable guy who's going to set you up for success, right?
Yep.
And we just aren't seeing it now. Spoke about paiN as well. Some of these T-side rounds, like Pariah's individual brilliance towards single, how much space and control he was taking there. FaZe struggled all kind of half long to shut him down. Let's see, for now it's a bit of a slower roll. There's a couple in towards lobby that are just waiting to see whether FaZe tempt fate with a lobby crunch, and if they do, probably be at the loss of life. At the same time, Snow, who loves a lurk, is looking outside. There is a world he got spotted there on that kind of crack angle. He's going to get down towards Seeker. They can't stop him there.
Jacob will be our first line of defense on this top bomb site. 45 seconds remaining. paiN certainly taking their time, looking uncomfortable on the T side, you might say. Well-timed smoke onto Squeaky. That maybe make some decisions now. T's, but I think they still just have to go A. They don't really have any time to do anything else. In the same vein, they've got 2 players outside.
That's it.
I guess they're looking to crunch Mini. It's questionable, to say the least. Yeah, there's really not a lot of time. Molotov not quite good enough. Jacob, unfortunately, the M4 making the difference. Can broky from the back end of the site, who goes overlooked. He misses a key shot, though, but there's just enough carnage and chaos going on. It's wild. What is happening, says everybody involved. The CTs hitting their shots and just in slightly better positions. And that, for me, comes down to a lack of time and a real panic from paiN.
Yeah, and a real kind of lack of direction, if we're being honest, right? For this paiN side, they put themselves in a spot where they leave it too late, where they have no information gathered. They have no idea about what the setup's looking like, and they just dive in, and they're basically just, all they're looking for there is they're hoping that head-to-head duels go in their favor. Like, it's not really something that kind of reeks of a good idea or a good plan. It's not a good call, as a sense. It actually is not a scared way to approach it. It's just hope that somebody delivers a multi-kill. Some hope that kind of our openers win out their aim duels, and they just don't. Too easy for FaZe to dissect that one. And all FaZe really had to do in a situation like that was be patient.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. The round came to them. Landed their shots. So we'll see. As I said, paiN not been here for a while. That first round back on the T side looks uncomfortable, to say the least. NQZ boosted up here, looking for the first kill. Might just get it. Oh, man. It's close, but nobody rounding those all-important corners. And on top of each other here outside. A minute left on the clock. No real progress made by paiN so far.
Here too. Again, we're burning a lot of the time here, but karrigan, bold choice to try and take aim duels at range, and he'll lose his life. The AK, nice shot from him. NQZ gonna find one with the AWP. This is looking a lot more likely, maybe the beginning of the end here. The curtain being drawn on this nuke as paiN are on track for the 16th. They're 5 versus 3 now, but all 3 are towards this top side.
Oh, man.
VSM, do you clear Mustang at a time like this? 20 seconds, paiN. Again, he hasn't cleared it. So overlooked, frozen for 2. Biggest error answers 1 back, but Jacob's going to get 1. So will Twist. A 1 versus 1. It's all on the IGL. Biggest error looking for Twist. He's going to find him. That is a nerve-wracking round there, but paiN win it nonetheless. And they close out their map pick of Nuke. Effectively, yes, but definitely still questionably.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, never easy on this map, it would seem. paiN enjoy a bit because it's just not the environment. You know, Carrigan always work in the crowd, always playing around those kind of emotions and, you know, making his wacky noises and stuff like that. So all these factors come in to now honestly point towards paiN, if I'm being totally real.
Yeah, and paiN don't mind this map. It is kind of the main thing on the flip side as well. There is a map in which they've played a decent amount of time. They just don't win it, right? And so I guess maybe for the likes of FaZe, it's like a confidence thing of like, yes, you know, we lost it badly, but they're losing it too. But like, they took Power Vision the distance. It wasn't a bad showing. Like, it's not like they looked terrible on it. 3D Max, this map has kind of become their home ground. So again, a loss there doesn't really surprise me that much in terms of the early stages. We'll see though. The only win they've had is against bait in the top level in the last few months of this year. So we'll see. Generally speaking, they've had some rough showings in their own regard. And despite FaZe's woes on it yesterday, I think the woes of paiN will be worse. So let's see if that is the case. A T-side start for them, and looking tempted to maybe dive out towards mid here. Snow will be tested. He spots a couple, and he'll just tuck his head away.
As will FaZe. Flash coming in towards short, but they're very ready. Jacob, while blind, takes it. There was 4 players around that corner just so set up for it. Some good nade damage to try and follow up, but we'll see. Headshot's going to have to land. Great flash once again. VSM here, trying to make a cross in, trying to take a couple of names before they get in towards the site. Does come close. He takes that easy player in Carrigan, but the rest of them not looking good. Big flick from Snow. Runs out of ammo. Can't get another. He had a decent chance. Honestly, if he had a couple more bullets, he might have found one more. All going to be on to Pariah Jr. Charging in from long. Takes that goosh initially and is quietly finished off by broky. FaZe to take the pistol.
Yeah, nice pistol for them. I think they get a little bit fortunate in a few instances. That kill that Jacob gets to open things up. He's full blind, but you take him all the same. They just dive in towards a late move. The nade that comes through is actually really nice on towards FaZe, and it does soften them up, but it's not enough in the end. Snow, this second shot, though, is a stunner. It's so reactionary. I don't think he even realizes he got it until it had come through, but pure instinct, net him a second. If he had a little bit more ammo, that player on towards top site potentially could have been in trouble too. It's FaZe who start well. Will be forced by paiN off the back of the kills they find. It's Snow in the MP7 who's flashed into the fight here. That seems really overzealous for me, arguably even unnecessary.
Potentially, I think it's a force buy. Maybe you have to try and do something, you know? Doesn't quite work. Could have been big. The flash just made too much noise with the bounce and then, you know, appeared for quite a while. It's not like it was the perfect pop flash that we love to see. Smoke down on the site here to just slow them down, as the CT side have been loving this recently, just across the board in Counter-Strike. Indeed, it does work here. FaZe going to be forced back towards the middle. Carrigan sticking around. He goes for a drop-in. Not quite been heard. Biggest error. He had enemies in front, enemies behind. What do you really do there? And now it will be this saving notion for paiN. Oh, nice pick up from NQZ.
He's good with that scout. Yeah, that fantastic round on Nuke. With the scout, that little 3-piece he got. Honestly, you kind of believed in him for all 5 as he dealt further damage. But this time he'll just take his 1. The double scout MP7 will be reused in towards the next round, but it's a second on the board for FaZe. Most likely a third as well, considering there won't be a full investment, of course, for paiN in towards the next. So a nice little runway. FaZe have already done better than they did against G2. That's a good sign. Already had the gauge. Jacob's already done better than he did against G2 as well. He's got triple his kills in the first 2 rounds than he did in the entirety of that map. So these are all positive signs.
Terrorists win.
Maybe for paiN. This punish pick against them could be leading us in towards that decider. On paper, it kind of looked like it. We kind of spoke about that decider of Mirage being the handshake.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see really how the first gun rounds go for paiN. This one won't really be anything, so it's another bit of an intermediary kind of throwaway round. It's again, double scout MP, 7 saves, couple of pistols around it. We're not expecting bullets.
Yeah, take it loose, take it fast. I think paiN will see how they get on, really. A bit more aggression once again into the start of this round, and the flash is perfect. broky was sort of stuck, and I think got flashed, and maybe just a small mechanical mistake for him to push forwards while blind. Potentially thinking he'd fully turned around. Either way, it's an opening kill for paiN.
paiN. Pretty close as Jake is on the jump.
Oh
running out of ammo. It's ugly. It's really ugly. I mean, it's decent damage dealt, but
Should have been a kill.
should have been a kill, absolutely. He'll be kicking himself to let that one slip. The numbers now go even. The 2 towards FaZe are pretty vulnerable. It's open momentarily, but as I say that, pariah's doubling back at the same time that the bomb's heading in that direction. He'll be the man to see this off. Jacob's got full HP, Carrigan doesn't, so you're looking towards the youngster to try and bolster them up here. He's taking an aggressive stance too. Oh, it's another body shot. Now it's about, can he spam the body shots out, pariah? He's hoping he can. A lurk smoke that he wants to avoid, but he overfights and overfaces, and Jacob will delete him.
Yeah, it's in two minds there. Do you stand and fight? They've got to have knowledge that some decent damage has been done here. Maybe, though, buying time for those rotations could have been a better play. Fortunately, with the bomb going down, you feel like there is no chance, and NQZ's got a prize. He's got a precious AK here, so he'll be really keen to save that. Yuzera in the action. Maybe a kill on the cards for him, but in the same vein, he's very low, so not looking too likely. Will be a third for FaZe. Skin of their teeth stuff, as that scout could have been devastating. Jacob with a really keen opening pickup, looking a lot better here as he finds himself at the top end of the scoreboard. No deaths as yet, so certainly not going to be as rough as the G2 game for him.
Yeah, it's a really crucial kill he gets. I like the idea from pariah because of that tag and the lurk smoke that completely nullifies his spot. But you maybe got to play around the smoke rather than full committing to the open fight. Also as well, kind of so long ago in the round itself, but VSM should have got this kill on Carrigan. He's really kicking himself. It's so messy as he runs out of ammo and then just doesn't have time to pull the pistol out. Yeah, it's there. He knows he's squandered a chance there. I think as well, in that situation where you're a little bit flustered, if he actually just resets the spray, goes for a burst rather than a full kind of mouse one, I think he's probably fine. But first gun round, first look into what paiN are going to offer up here.
Bad habit for sure. But indeed, this is more what we're putting under the microscope. At least smokes out from both sides. Or FaZe looking to push through this one. I don't know how we feel about that. Molotov in front of it as well. Just going to slow them down. Big Yuzera, he sniffs this. He really does feel like this is going to happen. Just not quite got the timing on it, unfortunately. The spam, though, is still pretty good. No creating 1.5 as a break-in. He was just caught reloading. Not ideal. Meanwhile, the tunnel player might be the key player of the round as he deletes that B defender. And it will be another FaZe round. The touch-and-go style looking pretty good here.
Yeah, unfortunately, that break on the smoke is so costly. If you wait half a second for Big Yuzera to actually get that gun reloaded, he wins that fight easily. That stops the bomb progressing in towards the B site and gives you the numbers advantage. But instead, because he's caught in reload, it flips the other way. FaZe flying towards the site, they delete the last B anchor, and in doing so, the round itself, VSM and NQZ, who are the known to be A players, just save their weapons over by pit, and FaZe found a fourth. Very easily could have fallen apart there for FaZe, but it's just mistakes from paiN. Too costly. Can't only blame Snow for one. It starts well, but it's that break on the smoke that just completely puts Big Yuzera out in the open for nothing.
Yeah, they're quite difficult, these break plays, for a while there, a good 6 months. Whenever someone would go for it, it would be like the opposite guy winning.
Yeah.
You know, when we would catch it like in the tier 2 online space and everything. So I think you have to make it happen quick, but also you need to be careful. They need to be a bit calculated. There's this really weird fine line that's just hard to find at times,
yeah.
and that's exactly what we see there. And yeah, I think you lose so much. You lose a kill, you lose information because they can now kind of see what's behind that smoke. So they can be very detrimental if you're not careful. Double up setup here. It's Snow actually making the AWP work, apparently, on the paiN side of things.
Nice shot. Second molly thrown in towards short as well to slow Carrigan down as well. So needs to be a little careful. Gonna fall back towards window. That gives them the opportunity of escape if necessary. As the bomb doubles back in towards upper tunnels. There's two players here. Snow and paiN. Two players who have very good maps in their own regards as well. Snow playing back at plat, always difficult to properly clear this position. He has no utils, so he just wants to take aim duels. And how quick? Here's the trigger finger, really. Let's see. Smoke down. Oh, he doesn't even take a hopeful pop shot through. He's going to let them through. This could work against them, but a boost up here will cost Jacob his life. Nice from Snow. Looks for a second. On the right-hand side, he'll deliver. And there's potentially more on offer. He just misses his chance against broky, but paiN is there to clean up the round as finally paiN finds some success to build upon. And it's off the back of the youngster.
Becoming quite predictable, that B-lurk smoke, I feel. Yeah, really not a lot on the offer there. But yeah, it really is, you know, hold one side, hold the other. Maybe if there's really strong flashes behind it, but seen a lot of players getting used to that by now.
Yeah.
Still, breaking into B from the tunnels is just one of the hardest things in the game to do, for my money. But then the site is really hard to retake, so perhaps it balances out, you know, the risk-reward, as it were.
I'm not taken. Relatively early as well for FaZe. Now that we've seen the first bit of success for paiN, they immediately want to discuss why it happened. And we kind of spoke about this a little bit in towards Nuke, where these attack pauses weren't delivering a lot from FaZe in that first half. And of course, you know, they didn't really put too much on the table. Hoping to kind of immediately pull things back in their favor. A pop shot by broky. Close, but on connect. Snow will tuck himself in towards lower. Ollie takes on the toes. He wants to get in front of the flash here, but it's biggest error for two. And he's up the bomb. And he's got NQZ in support.
Spamming away at long, trying to get a trade out over here. Oh,
reload.
Twist! Seen reloading the shadow, of course, going to be spotted. He takes a lot of damage through the door, and there's just nothing he can do about that. VSM with perfect timing to abuse Twists. paiN may well be back into this game then, it would seem. Jacob, only one left. Got a bomb to recover and a couple kills to find. Clean onto the first. Second for the round. The player that will be a problem is paiN Jr. Surely he's just not going to expect a guy over here. And slow but sure, you assume he's going to be seen, but actually no. paiN's angle is not brilliant, if I'm honest.
He just gets the bomb and he'll just saunter towards the A site. Interesting not to just crossfire this. Like you mentioned, kind of like suicide into or so. But they're going to spend a couple of seconds now. paiN's going to round the corner. Oh, there's no bomb.
Yeah.
Now, where is he gone?
Strange.
So they've let him pick it up. They've let him shift walk all the way towards the A site. Or really decide where he wants to go about this. This is questionable, but they are making the right gamble of going back to A themselves. It's going to be planted. Molly in towards CT. He is actually kind of exposed here, though. This is an issue. Swing on that corner, it would have done a lot, but the nade will still deal a lot of damage to him. 1 versus 2 for Jacob. He's got a farm on this. A Molly at his toes, which he smokes out, but he'll still tick a lot. And in doing so, forces him in the open. He's spammed by paiN. They recover the round, but they should never have needed to recover the round.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely a weird game state that they put themselves in. I thought the angle from in towards T-spawn would have been enough to, like, you know, spot the player at least. Just goes completely unseen. So even the bomb plant there is a decent result for FaZe. I think it's safe to say. There was a time where you would have thought that wouldn't have happened. Off the back of biggest Zera's move and, you know, this awkward fight in Longhouse. So second for paiN in a row, importantly. May well be a case to close this gap. We're going to find out as FaZe will slowly but surely have to stomach this one. Timeout coming in quite late in the freeze time as well. So clearly something to talk over. Is it for this round? Twist has got money for Hero AK. I look towards that.
Also, it's 2 successive kind of timeouts as well, right? They call kind of one after the other. Never a kind of a good sign that shows there's a bit of worry for FaZe, and there's anything but if it's towards paiN, as you can see on the cameras there, having a little laugh and enjoying life. This round feels like it should be a freebie for the Brazilian roster. See if that's the case, but considering there's not really that much of a buy, I assume round number 7 should go the way of paiN, making this a 1-round game. It's a scout to work with for broky. And he's about it. Util thrown towards top mid. It's again this double AWP in play of NQZ and Snow. You know, Biggest Era doesn't mind picking up in times, but Snow's looked pretty good with it, so I'll keep him on it. He takes a little bit of a tag on the cross, but it's only 8 points of damage.
Small jump spots here. Tiny bits of info being gathered. It's the lower tunnels approach for FaZe. Oh,
wow.
Man. Perfectly timed nade. The damage is insane, but just really, really well timed. Now, the rest of the squad should be able to get in. Frozen keen with 1 deagle shot. Can they get any more here? Snow on his AWP. Looks to be overwhelmed. He gets the USP. Oh, no! 2 for 1. What? Oh my God. Never in my life. Never in my life would I have expected him to get that. 2 versus 2 now and just pure panic. He's out of there, able to get this bomb down on B. Frozen holding the lurking positions. There's a player wrapped all the way around into T-spawn, into the upper tunnels. He's going to meet Frozen here. Frozen, though, has no idea. Will go down. It's all left onto broky.
Surely not. Surely not.
Highlight of the century, this, if he can make it work. Oh, doesn't happen. He gets a bullet off. He does get a bullet off, but not going to work.
You
What a
still
shot.
see the flashes of the FaZe magic, don't you? How does he get a collat like that? They line up. And honestly, considering the buy that they brought to the table there, FaZe, they made that very expensive. A bump on 3 kills is not a bad effort. Take a look at this again. Oh, Pariah and Snow. That's an embarrassing way to lose that mid control. broky will bring the AWP in towards the next round. It's a real wake-up call for paiN. On a low buy like that, nearly letting it slip. Honestly, if that flank of Frozen isn't caught, they're in a bit of trouble.
Damn crazy. I'm just, you know, reeling from that. Little sad that it didn't work out for them. What a round and highlight that would have been, man. Incredible, but just not capitalized on. Still, bit of shakiness maybe for paiN. They've got to now move into the next round. Biggest Era.
Great move.
It's not the flashiest like broky's in the previous, but it's a nice, clean 2-piece that he's able to walk away from. paiN really looking good with this early aggression in particular, and something you like talking about, the level of proactivity.
CT side, that's it, man. He's so self-confident there, Biggest Era. That's such a risky fight to be taking. And I love it. He sticks around for the potential of a third. Knows he has support at range with the util. That can be thrown over by VSM, so he knows he's happy to stay up and towards short and keep the aggression on. But yeah, you're spot on, right? It's always a positive sign. And a real good showing of how confident a side feel is how proactive they are on that CT. And, well, I love that from Biggest Era. I can't believe he goes alone in that endeavor. Like, he just swings out in towards short, gets one, and then gets one in towards lower as well. Just add insult to injury. Like, it's so risky, but it works brilliantly. And it's kind of Biggest Era in a nutshell. They're going to double pump in towards short. That is a stunner of a HE as well. And the spam through the smoke as Biggest Era finds his third. He's on for the ace here, and he might just get it. No, VSM will get one of his own to break up the quad kill from Captain Fantastic.
There you go. Snow's behind him as well, giving it some support. Maybe face killer.
Yeah.
They're not needed in this round. Biggest error, yeah, really solid. And again, great timing, great finds on those HEs. Something that seems to have turned a corner for paiN. And with the wildest view model you've ever seen.
He just really wants to flex the skins. He wants
yeah, of
full
course.
display.
It is a nice one. Either way, onto the pistols now. FaZe have lost the momentum here. They've lost the lead, in fact, and it looks set to fully concede it across to paiN. A 5-4 on the cards, unless we get some craziness with the pistols once again.
They're going A quick. 2 towards ramp. They're going to double back after a bit of initial utility. In chain smokes in towards upper B. Maybe a slight misread. I think just because of that one corner lurk smoke, they're a little bit scared of this being sort of a mid to B split, but it's actually a complete mid play. You're smoked off CT, and now you're about to put a lot of pressure on towards paiN and VSM, and the first test they passed with flying colors. Jacob will delete VSM, and it's labored here. It's really messy. How is he not dead? He pulls out the pistol. What in God's name happened? How did Jacob not trade him? Well, paiN gets 3, and it gives them a chance. A short bomb goes down, but numbers favor paiN.
Tapping that crouch, moving around, the bobbing and weaving style that we are seeing dominate CS2 at the moment could make all the difference here. Utility comes in, and, well, Twist is actually just dead to it. Couldn't get away in time. broky then left to clutch things up under the window. First will fly in, draws his crosshair enough that he's unable to reset for the next. paiN will just about see it off, but that is all paiN Jr., man.
Yeah.
Really well held. You know, his teammate doesn't find anything. He looked absolutely dead to rights. Just able, as a new gen player, you know, you see him ducking, moving ever so slightly in between the sprays just to make it hard to hit that head, which of course is what the pistols are going to be going for especially.
I kind of would love to see that from Jacob's POV, just to understand, like, how it didn't connect. He was pretty tagged up, but yeah, well done from paiN. Had no right to get away with more than one there. Walks away with 3 and gives life back into the round. It's not a bad effort by FaZe, though, considering the buy that they had. That'll be that. Lead taken by paiN. It was a slow start in towards this map, sure, but they now have put pressure really back on towards the shoulders of FaZe, where you lose this gun round, you're in a bit of trouble. There's residual cash for karrigan and Jacob, but aside from that, it becomes kind of thin. So this is interesting. Bold move by NQZ, and he dives down off the back of it too. No regard to any top mid presence, because they're going to bolster up B. This could be dicey, but it could be a bloodbath. In they come. It's a double stack here, and they've seen one window. Will they clear the second? Surely not. Snow, for a second, he's on for the third. He hasn't reloaded, and Snow does so well. And it's Twist, they have it all to do in a 1 versus 2.
Yeah, that's really well done in from the car. It looked very, very, very awkward for a moment. They missed a window to catch them completely off guard, but still about 50% off guard for sure. Yet somehow paiN have the man advantage here.
No flashes, no smokes. 2 kits, and then 1 HE.
This is giving them the space, though.
Yeah.
Time left on this bomb now. It's really going to become a problem. Nade in towards car. Spray down doesn't quite land. He's confident to stand strong. That peak is advantage. Again, just the adjustments a little bit to the online play. You'd see a lot of tier 2 guys take that initial fight and just move away, just give it, right, and maybe try and go in for a reaggress, but he's confident. A little too confident, doesn't happen. Big win for paiN once again.
Third and final timeout taken by FaZe as well.
First half.
Yeah, I know. That's an incredibly dark kind of showing, right? I think it is proof that there's really not a lot of confidence there. Snow getting 3 from that position is massive, but I don't even really blame FaZe. Like, why would you expect there to be a triple stack B at that portion of the round? 1 in towards window, 2 in towards car. You already killed 1 car, so I don't really blame them that they completely overlook it. They maybe just got to trade a bit better. The fact that he gets a third out of it is massive. And yeah, Twists, unfortunately, the jiggle peak, drop the shoulder, swing back in, and catches him in towards tunnel. Nothing he really could do. It was looking dicey for paiN on that retake just because of the lack of util they had. In the end, all right. An ultimate round of players. FaZe have kind of let this one slip a little bit. There's no 2 ways about it. They were in quite a commanding position at the gates, but since the guns have come into play, it's only been 1 team in it.
later utility here from paiN. Kind of like to see it. Looking to regain some control, break onto the smoke. Thing off the back of it. It's a pretty deep set FaZe clan right now.
Yeah.
Maybe an A split. Maybe a take long control, see what we can do with that. Just lots and lots of different options. Classic fake out towards mid. 2 smokes committed to that though. So big sell over there. And now we set our eyes on VSM.
If they do this on the pot flash through this, VSM should be dead to rights. However, he's holding quite an aggressive angle. And potentially, you know, generally when you swing and clear this close corner, he's now moving into it. Jacob's going to find Snow on the rotate. But here's VSM. Gets 2 for it. It's an ult round the corner. VSM single-handedly has given them a chance. broky will catch him on the cross as he tries to retreat, but re-aggression in towards mid from paiN, and he just clips him out of the sky. Duck hunting from him, leaving it all on the shoulders of broky. He needs a quad clutch in this round. Misses his chance, and with 35 seconds, it's a retreat. Does have the bomb on his back, but this is not an easy choice. He has to hope and just fly in towards B.
He loves a clutch, this guy. We'll see if he can deliver for us. It's not flown, as you suggested. Takes his time. Lays it quietly for a moment.
They give him the space, though. But I like paiN playing together here.
I was going to say they do indeed, you know, take it slowly. Bomb going to go down. Oh, biguzera thought about moving through. He's still thinking about moving in fast. Just got to be careful. They're holding to see if there's going to be any kind of cross from broky. He's relying on pure mechanics to get this done. No flash to get in, but again, it should be relatively doable for the paiN boys. broky gives the door half a look. He's pretty set on tunnels. Is he going to hear any footsteps here? I don't think so. They're moving in pretty contact heavy, so maybe going to get the drop on him, but as that bomb starts ticking down, they have no idea where he's at. Has he been heard? One on the bomb, cannot land the shot, and will get taken down. It's close on the defuse. It's awfully close, but they will get it over the line. I mean, one shot onto that player on the bomb really could have made the difference there, but not going to be the case here. And once again, the clutch factor not here for FaZe.
And it's yet another retake on towards the B side. Statistically, one of the hardest sides to retake, if not the hardest side to retake in competitive play, but paiN have had such success with it. Sure, it's a numbers advantage retake, but it's not the easiest. It's a great flick shot from NQZ. Does really bail them out. The nade actually misses, so crossing's a little perilous. paiN will make his way over nonetheless. Oh, full blind biguzera. Carrigan, that's brazen, bold, maybe a little bit stupid. It'll be costly.
It's hard to watch, is what it is.
2 and 11 for him. 3 and 9 for Twists. 3 and 8 for Frozen. broky and Jacob are the ones at the top end of the scoreboard, but it's not a good look. Because Dust2 is still not short up at all.
Flashing for Snow. Really, really great retake of space there with the smoke and the flash on the back of it. And suddenly Snow is able to defend middle, so yeah, love that. Break comes in, biguzera catches Twist being cheeky. Snow's still here. I think his position is just so strong, they're not going to expect him at all. In for one, not quite the second. The 20 HP remaining is not enough to get anything going. paiN looking good. Took them some time to get going, but once they do, they don't lose a round. So really great stuff once again coming in from the Brazilian squad. FaZe maybe going quietly into that 0-2 bracket. We're going to find out after the break. Welcome back in, folks. We're going to see if FaZe Clan can, again, mount some kind of a comeback. It did not look good in that first half. They managed to pick up the pistol, and they maybe quietly convinced us for a moment, but once they were comfortable, paiN able to dominate, winning lots of post-plant situations, which on the CT side can be very difficult on Dust2.
Yeah.
Aggression up middle here for FaZe to try and send a message, but not able to find any kills.
You know, you're 4-0 up to start. We're kind of loving life. We're looking, paiN look a little bit worried on this map. We've obviously seen that paiN have struggled on it themselves, and we're thinking maybe this is how FaZe, open the door back in towards a Mirage, and they just get steamrolled. 8 on the bounce for the Brazilians, and they look for more. Let's see. Carrigan caught in the open. A swing by 4 out of the 5. It's VSM who seals the deal with the kill. A smoke for the cross. They just wait for it to plume, and now they can make their way over. Flash, avoid, and they're diving through paiN. That is so bold, and he'll get 2 before he falls. Surely job done. It's all on the shoulders of broky, and there's nothing he can do. paiN, a lovely move as the rest of the team barrel on towards the A side. He slips the net in towards spawn, and he'll find himself 2 very important rotators. paiN, that's their 9th round in a row now, and it starts well on towards their T side.
Yeah, we'll see how long the streak goes, I suppose. Does come off with the NQZ flash, though. Really nice touch to just mix things up in the pistol here and move through the smoke rather than keeping it conventional.
Where's this nade going, eh? Where's this going?
He's actually long. Oh! Wait a minute.
Where did I go?
Did anyone catch that? I saw on the minimap, it kind of looked like it exploded next to him. I think it just went into the longhouse.
Yeah.
He didn't take any damage, so if it exploded next to him, I would have thought
Yeah, it went
so.
long.
Yeah, okay.
He just kind of ran over long.
It was just a little, explosion shape or whatever on the minimap that kind of, maybe that's the throwing symbol. Looking good here, though, as the SMGs looking to make some money. It's mostly the rifles, though. 1 kill for Twist is all we get.
Yeah.
Any damage is good damage, though, I suppose.
Yeah.
It can be beneficial for the kill bonus, etc., but it all comes down to this rifle, really, as to whether FaZe can survive.
Yeah, clutching at straws, I think, a little bit. Really.
Sure.
Yeah, but we shall see. Now, of course, 10 in a row by paiN. 3 away, closing out the map and the series and knocking FaZe into the 0-2 bracket. Gun round. I mean, it is kind of do or die scenarios for them really now. They lose this one, they're in serious trouble. Already left on not a lot of utility. 1 minute 35 on the clock. 2 players have nothing. Jacob has a HE. A lot of their very slim amount of util burned in the early portion of these rounds.
Yeah, that is true. Trying to maybe net that first kill and it's just not really happening. paiN seem quite savvy. So they're sat back, they're waiting for that utility to be expended. That can be a really different game for the CT side, whether they're able to hold on to that util and make life difficult or not. And at this stage, it feels like an or not. They've got 2 smokes, both of which are on B. So the A bomb site feels pretty vulnerable right now.
Yeah, that's a T flash and also a T molly towards door. So VSM looks like he was about to make a bit of kind of space there, maybe just have a little double check round, and then he gets stopped by his own team molly. So, I guess the job's done, that the close corners are cleared. To B they go. Jacob and Frozen reside here. The lurk smoke that'll come through. Frozen gonna play in between the 2 of them. 28 seconds, they don't have a lot of time. They've got to go.
Frozen's right here as well. Turns away from the flash. Oh, it's a second. He's blinded up. He does a lot of damage, gathers some information, but Jacob, going to be left out to dry here. USP singing. Has he done enough? Man advantage and damage onto NQZ, you would say, potentially yes. Very close to getting this bomb down as well, and actually going to be denied. FaZe, despite the low util, they get lucky. The bomb comes to them, and they do perform very well. Jacob with a highlight moment.
Yeah, 2 really sharp shots there with the USP. Lightning fast and I feel like when Frozen dies here, I thought that might be kind of job done, but it's these 2 shots. This 3rd one in particular clotheslines them on the re-aggress through the smoke. Nice work. Finally, for the first time in 11 played, we get a round of success for FaZe. Now it's got to be a springboard to many, right? It just can't be a flash in the pan.
Time for their 10 in a row. That would be classic FaZe clan.
True.
Just not lose until they win. We have the reinvestment here from paiN. Not sure I'm a huge fan. I think you look at what they've got, potentially could have gone down the middle here and just keep things stable. They've opted to go for instability and kind of a hard round to follow as well, as they'll come out quite dry on short. Twist looking to have a shooting gallery presented to him. He's good for one. Carrigan's behind him though. I mean, surely they're able to hold here. Interesting little smokes from both sides just to really give as much cover as possible. They will get the bomb down, planted for sure.
So much damage, right? Look how low paiN are. Pariah, 1 foot in the grave. Snow and NQZ aren't exactly healthy, but let's see. Nice move by NQZ. That's aggressive, but with the cover of the smoke on the front end of sight, he'll get one. That idea is he's kind of trained, but he tunnel vision's in the wrong way. He's exposed it in the open. So kills come back in. Twist, Frozen, Jacob all entering. It's all on the youngster. Snow needs a 1 versus 2, and he can't find it. Frozen, the vet, in this scenario, sees it off. And a retake for FaZe. And a real sigh of relief, because that was looking dicey.
No, absolutely. I mean, really close stuff for me. There was a severe lack of utility from both sides, and I think it maybe is just that weaponry that makes the difference, it feels like. Tough. Very tough indeed. Just the heads presenting for the M4s and the AKs. So paiN hitting a wall here. Left to figure things out. They will eco into this one. Would have had that super strong buy. Like I say, I'm not a huge fan of the force in the previous there. Any kind of momentum you can give across to FaZe is just not going to be good.
No takes his chances with the Deagle. He'll lose his life. Easy one for Twist in that long aggression. A follow-up nade. Little NQZ down to 52. Eagle scooped off there, though, by VSM, so that's something at least. This should be an easy one for FaZe to overcome, and a nice shot from broky to make sure of it. The Deagle scooped up for nothing. broky spotted one on the right-hand side of mid, and he spots his shoulder again. Can't hit the reaction, but it shouldn't make a difference in the round. Jacob tapping away and wins out the aim duel with Pariah. This round, pretty simply going the way of FaZe. The remaining two shouldn't have that much of a look in.
Yeah, that was maybe your only chance. NQZ now on the Glock. Going crazy. Gets taken down. So within 3 now. It is coming close, and we did see on that first map, FaZe mount a pretty substantial comeback. Kind of tougher than this one, it feels like.
Yeah.
And
both 8-4 halves.
Yeah.
Just didn't see that streak the way that paiN had at the tail end of the half and into the start of the second. So this is definitely a harder run of things for FaZe. Oscar Brown's looking pretty good, though.
Yeah. You have to be very careful, you know. You don't want to wake the dragon, as it were. Takes a lot of effort at the moment, it feels, to maybe wake the FaZe dragon, but it's still there a little. Couldn't quite get it over the line on Nuke. You'd assume, surely, if they get the opportunity again, they'd be able to do it. NQZ, trained in, gifted, flash comes round, Snow not blind at all. Tag comes in, and the finish is there as well. FaZe try and take Maz into their own hands, and it goes south really quickly. Frozen is still here to try and defend this B-bomb site. He's being peppered by nades and bullets right now. Meanwhile, Twist.
Little smooch.
Hello. This is where you need that zoom in on the mini-map.
Best friends.
Are you right in the corner?
Best friends.
Oh
my God, he's going to get out.
And now he's going to be like, wait a minute. There's a bit more room. All of a sudden,
he's going to win that.
Room.
No way. VSM wins it.
Crazy, bro.
Little smooch in the smoke, unbeknownst to either of them. And VSM repositions, wins the aim duel. Last couple, Carrigan and Frozen. Up in the hands of Frozen, he plays towards window. They don't need to commit towards B here. There's a lot of kills that they found, a lot of space they've created, but it's also drawn over the FaZe attention. They're doubling back towards the A site, and the spam's a nice idea, but that is now confirmation of bomb cross towards short and round lost for FaZe. And now it's a saving mission for Frozen and Carrigan.
Might be able to get away with it. NQZ is here so patiently, not moving out of this corner at all. Will eventually give it a look. There you go. His patience pays off. So just Mr. Frozen against the world, and they are on the hunt. If you look at your mini-map here, folks, they're after him. He's going to have to go pretty crazy here. I think he should be dead eventually. It's a question of how many he takes with him. It's only one. So 11-7. They crack pretty early into the comeback attempt. So not the best signs for FaZe, but they still have a tiny, tiny bit of room to work with.
It's true. It's just a little bit over-aggressive in that tunnels play that cost them so much control. NQZ for one, he gets a leg on towards Jacob, who then gets swung upon. It all just kind of slots itself into place quite nicely for paiN. Kind of now or never, really. Full investment in for FaZe. You lose this here, money's broken, paiN on 12, map and series, and surely at that point there is no recovery. Ollie will force them off that corner, nading towards lower tunnel, but VS haven't got out in front of this. Quite rapidly scaled up in towards mid.
Oh, high boost up here. I believe they are on top of like the rice bags or flour bags, whatever they are.
Sandbags.
I think there's definitely food.
No, yeah, it's like grain, isn't it?
50 kg, that's crazy.
That's my dumbbells. Bicep curl.
They don't go that high. I know you're lying.
What do you mean? I got custom.
That's fine. The bottom end of the totem pole falls. Broky will manage to get the trade out, though, so the number's going to stay even. I still, even though we zoomed in, I still don't know what's in those bags.
I think it's grain,
but it's a bit big.
It's like wheat.
You know, yeah, but it's like not quite been ground down. I don't know.
Someone's got to translate what the Arabic's saying.
Yeah, true. Very true.
End of the round.
Mailbag, maybe?
Yeah. Or end of the round.
In there.
Observers show it, and I'll get my Google Translate like,
like AI thing.
Yeah, picture up thing to look.
And then it's just not going to work.
We're heading towards 8. Having a look. Frozen's got a really good timing on this flank. He could have at least one, maybe two dead to right. That's the bomb at the tail end of the pack as well that falls. They've now got to refight towards shore to get control on this, and Broky's got other ideas. He continues to have a fantastic map. His 16th kill as him and Jacob lead the charge. And I'll speak of the devil, it's Jacob who gets it. Brilliant, brilliant work. With that being said, FaZe aren't dead just yet. Was too quick of a flash up.
Yeah,
to see.
go. All
right, what is it? It just says bag. Bag. Oh no, wheat bag. There you go. Wheat bag. See?
Nice.
It initially just came up on Google Translate as bag.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you. Yeah.
There we go. Wheat bag.
But you rarely see them kind of employed. You know, people forget that these little obstacles exist. So it's kind of cool to see them being utilized for like a taller boost.
Unorthodox angle for sure. Timeout taken, first one by paiN. They used their timeouts late in towards Nuke, and of course, I guess long-term it ended up working out in their favor, but it did require us going towards an overtime, and I can't lie, I do have that inkling here again. I sort of said it in a similar position in towards Nuke, but this one does have that whiff of OT in the air.
You're really going to make production mad by teasing it, by tempting it.
I can smell it slightly. paiN look a little questionable. This should be a bit of a freebie for the CTs. That's 11-9, 2-round game. It's back in towards the gun round. You lose that. That's 11-all, and then we really are on track for OT. So I'm getting that whiff of overtime in the air. It's like Tom and Jerry when they smell the pie. That's me flying towards the OT.
I think after yesterday, though, I kind of want to fly away from the OT. No offense to CS.
Just shy of a 5-hour series we had.
Yeah, with a quadruple overtime in there. Certainly, really tests your mental as to how much you do love Counter-Strike, how much you do enjoy watching and commentating on it. Especially when the Counter-Strike devolves into, just
it was scrappy.
in the mud, gloves off, can barely see anything, because they're just so dirty.
And it was also one of those kind of games as well. That entire series, to be honest, there was no real massive highlight moments.
No, yeah,
it was just like a couple of trades here, a couple of trades back, no real
Which could be good if it's clean and you're like, damn, these guys are clinical right now.
But it was the opposite.
As it goes on, we want a crazy 1v4 to just keep the energy up,
We're getting none of that. Good timing There's 2 here towards B. One of which being Jacob actually has looked much, much better on this anchor position. Oh, he's going to lose his head through the smoke. VSM takes a chance, and fortune favors the bold, and now Frozen surely dead to right. A dive back in by Twist till net 1. But they should be able to squeeze out a plant here if they can cross. Yes, they can.
Yeah, can they stay safe on the cross, though? The answer is no. Twist gives his life to deny that bomb plant. Very well played, very well held. That was a nervy moment. How they've ever seen him above that smoke is crazy.
I mean, did they, right?
True.
It could have just been a real fortunate one.
He was kind of in a weird angle, though, you know?
Yeah.
Not necessarily one that you would spam. So I feel like just the top of that smoke, you know, doing its whole dynamic movement, maybe. Crazy work. But this is the round. Big buy coming in from paiN, and maybe one of their last buys. If this does not go their way, they're going to have to figure things out. And again, shying away from quick rounds, shying away from rushes, even with some long presence. They're looking to go for a later round burst. Big Uzera trying to catch a timing with that flash, I feel, thinking that something was coming his way. Not the case. They'll all join up towards long here, and it has indeed paid off. Karrigan, lackadaisical with the shoulder peek, the eye peek to try and see if there's anything coming his way. So looking pretty good here, as the man advantage is short-lived. They're not going to show any signs of slowing down, however. And Frozen, a huge line of defense put up by him, gets the USP out, and he finds 3 in that long defense.
They're just too keen to fight their paiN. They really didn't need to be as quick as they were. Easily could have got, you know, the opening kill towards Karrigan, taken long control, and just pumped the brakes briefly, right? They don't even need to commit to long, but with Big Azera up and towards short, and he's up uncontested, they think this is the time to split. But it's just too easy. One smoke, one flash behind it, and they completely lose all of that long control, and then Big Azera can do nothing scaling through short because of that rotate through CT. It's really well done from FaZe. Patience paying off for them, but yeah, on the flip side, it's just for paiN. It's too basic, it's too simple, it's too easy to read as well. And sure, FaZe aren't playing at 100% right now. They're still not looking great in what we'd expect from them, but any team can overcome a round like that. It's just too easy to dissect.
Very, very interesting now.
Told you it reeks of that overtime.
Yeah, you know, when you're right, you're right.
You can smell it in the air. I mean, it's definitely not guaranteed yet, but 11-all should be guaranteed.
Yep. All 24 feels certain.
It does really feel as well like for paiN that they've just run out of ideas. Like the initial kind of start to this half was like, you know, first couple of rounds, like, okay, something on offer here, quite puggy, but it's working. But in a similar vein to paiN in the first half, we're seeing the same thing here. Like when FaZe have the guns in play, there's only really one team in the server.
Yeah. It's just T-sides of maps that you kind of stink on. It's generally what happens. I think a lot of teams that have a preference for a map will have a bit of a game plan, get some conditioning in early, this kind of thing, and sort of stick to it. paiN, it feels like not much of a game. They have like rounds.
Yeah.
But the overarching T side doesn't necessarily have an identity.
Yeah, and they're so reliant on individuals getting a couple of kills, right? Going kind of like 2 for 1 in their trades, which is not really something you can rely on. They're going for a mid to B split, and this could still be dangerous. Keep your eyes trained on this. Yes, it's pistols, but NQC's found the first. No way. Frozen, you have to go nuclear here, and he can't. NQC's going to get both with a Glock, by the way, as the B site falls barren to paiN's hands. Bomb planted, post-plant set up, and a couple of guns scooped up on the hardest site to retake. Uh-oh.
You have to go here if you're FaZe, I think.
Yeah.
You have to give it a good try. The game hinges on a moment like this.
No.
Ollie comes in, it's not quite good enough. NQC keeps them coming.
On for the ace.
The armorless Glock ace potentially on the cards here. broky sticking around. There's kits that have been dropped. He's looking for a late move. He will be spotted, finds the first, but not quite the second. NQC, hero for paiN, giving them the 12th, and yes, sir.
That's how I feel about that round.
Yes, sir, straight down the barrel. What are you going to say about that, FaZe?
Oh, that's how I feel about it too, VSM. A armorless Glock has ended the round with an ace. NQC, brilliant from him. A diving over shot as well, but he just continues isolating the duels.
To him.
Yeah. Look at what it means to him as well. Just
That
loses
boy got
it.
a long neck.
Yeah.
Crazy
So
work.
deserved, though. I mean, what a round. He will start this one off tagged. Same for Biggest Era as well. Look at the buy for FaZe to keep them alive in towards this series. 5-7 Deagle, double FAMAS and an AWP. broky's had a brilliant map, but we need more from him. Now's his time to really shine.
Huge bits of damage done to the T's in this round, so that speaks to an omen of this being a good-looking CT round, not over until it is over.
I will say as well, kind of reiterating the point you made earlier for paiN of where it feels like they're out of ideas. That's another round which it just requires somebody to go huge, right? It's just not, it's not a sound game plan to have. Yes, it can work, as we just saw, but it's not something you can rely on.
But in a low buy round like that, perfect. In
Yes.
the rifle rounds, yeah, you do want a bit of the structure.
Yeah, we want the push and pull and the bait out the util, bait out the positions, but let's see. This mid to A area is really, really dangerous.
Heard the AWP goes in. It's a double swing, in fact. It's Twist to find the first. VSM trying to stay alive. NQZ's AWP will take down Twist as they really were waiting for a moment to crunch in a signal to come.
Look at this.
Meanwhile, the bomb never wanted to be part of this mid to short play. It is going to be a very simple plant out on the B bomb site, and you feel like this kind of has to be it. Unless they can take some of the lurking, quote-unquote, presence as stragglers, really.
Yeah.
NQZ manages to make it out of there, so we're into an even 3 versus 3. No kit available for this T side. One flash. And of course, the dream to try and break in. NQZ looking to break the heart. Carrigan will find two. It's down to the one-on-one. broky, can he get the frag? Yes! Oh my goodness, is there enough time for him to get to the bomb? It's awfully close. I think he has got it, though. It's going to be close here. It's going to be very, very close. They're a little unsure. He's fidgeting around. He's just about able to finish that circle. Oh my goodness.
Right at the end, broky comes up huge again. He has bailed out FaZe on numerous occasions in this map, and that's another one for him. Fantastic work. I thought that paiN had done enough, but yeah, not to be. And unfortunately, Snow is shoulder just around the corner. Look how close that is. Milliseconds away from losing the series and going to the O2 bracket. But they live to see another day. paiN can't close out round number 23, so the full 24 in regulation required. All for NQZ, AK for Biggest Era and Prize good, but then they do have to take a bit of a dip in firepower. It's a Galil for Snow, it's a Mach 10 for VSM, so the money has run a little dry on that T side.
Bursting up short, getting some control over here. Are they going to try and pick up the pace a bit more? No, they're ultimately going for something very similar to what they've had the past few rounds. It looks to be a B hit. broky, though, confident he would be after the previous round, able to find the first here. He will drop away, but it's still 2 on B itself. paiN just really lacking, you know, the long presence and trickle play from short. They're
So
walking
lost.
straight into the crosshairs, fully out of ideas, as we've said a couple times now, and it's overtime again. The crazy broky clutch to keep this one alive, despite the Glock ace from NQZ. paiN can't see it over the line.
I smelt it, and here we are. But this paiN side look really lost on the T side. They have no directive in what these T side cores are looking like. And it's so reliant on individuals. It's all mid-rounding. It's all loose. There's no real solid structured rounds being built here. It's not something you can build on. Despite it being leveled and FaZe having to kind of recover into this, at the moment, I'm seeing FaZe as the more solid side. broky continues to scale up. Jacob continues to have kind of decent moments. We're slowly seeing Twist and Frozen awaken a little bit more. I'm worried for paiN. Yes, they're getting kind of like these crazy moments, but they're not reliable. At least for FaZe, it feels like there's solid foundations there. Overall, we go again. Overtime across both maps here. These two sides evenly matched, which maybe isn't a great thing in the grand schemes of the top level of Counter-Strike, but this series is a fun watch.
Yes, absolutely true. See what happens now, though. We saw paiN just, really hit a groove coming into the OT of Nuke. Seem to be struggling with closing games out. Had quite a lot of overtimes, actually, so far in their Stage 2 campaign, at least.
It's just so loose, the calling style. Against a very structured FaZe. See why they're not really too flustered by it.
Yeah. Oh man, look at this. It's set to be a 5-man crunch.
Yeah, it's a great re-aggression at kind of the midway part of the round. It's an information gather.
Got to do something with it, though. Yeah, and there's... Oh, Frozen's chance. bigazera lives it. And all of a sudden they go, okay, wait a minute, there's like 2 short, maybe spotted a couple actually in towards middle there. They will take down bigazera, but they get the B control. Eventually, I'm not going down just yet. Waiting to see if there's like an over-aggress coming in. There's also maybe questionably no smoke for the door. So that leaves him in a weird spot. VSM will eventually get it out, but he needed to, step into a lineup and it's rushed and it's a mess over here. It's absolutely a mess. It's going to be Snow 1 versus 3, but there's so many smokes for him to work in. He could disappear.
Oh, no.
Double spray down. Does he know where Frozen's at? Flash comes over the top. Frozen taking it heads up against him. 1 HP for both players. Oh my goodness, on the bomb. Frozen trying to hold. Snow will deny. Oh my goodness, 1 HP for both players. I don't think I've ever seen that. It's Snow to win, and it's paiN to retake the lead.
Pros don't fake, but maybe in that scenario they should have. A tap and a fight on towards Snow could have worked favorably, but Frozen just wants to chance it. He knows there's damage being dealt, and he wants to see, does he have the gall to swing me on this defuse? And he did. Brilliant from Snow. That is so close to the wire. It's such an unconvincing round, though, again, from paiN. Like, it's relying on one individual going huge. That it doesn't strike that much confidence in me. But if it works, it works.
What overtimes are made of them.
I know, yeah. The chaos, the clutter of some of these rounds.
All right, smoked the corner, guys. Don't worry about it. The corner is smoked. The corner next to the blue bin is smoked. No one's going to get us from there. Don't worry.
That's it.
I think it was right in that corner.
That's it.
Unbelievable. Either way. Not going to have too much of a negative effect here. First time, maybe ever, we've seen paiN hit long, by the way. Frozen will find Snow. Some man advantage FaZe now.
Revenge for the previous round. Briar, he's actually quite far ahead of this. He goes ahead of the smoke. Honestly, 1-for-1's not bad there. I really thought he'd just die for nothing. Something, but same can't be said for VSM. Twist up on high. Top side of that smoke on the burst will work favorably. bigazera will cross, but if the 2 versus 4 is not an easy one, make that 1. All on the IGL. bigazera's got no chance in this one. It doesn't have really the time to work with either. And on the jump across, jcobbb sees him over. It's tied again. 13 apiece. Honestly, because of how unconfident I am with paiN on this T side, if they go 2-for-1 in this first half, I think they win out in OT1.
Yeah. They really do not like going long, though. They went out, they sat there for about a minute, they failed a smoke. Also, the cross smoke was bad. Maybe that's it. Maybe they don't know a cross smoke lineup. One guy failed it, the second guy managed to get it in the general area. But yeah, really quite messy, I think. Tag lands onto Jacob.
Uh-oh.
Carrigan tagged up. broky with a missed shot. Twist will take down Pryor Jr. in at long. Got some pretty good looking moments here for paiN, to be honest with you. A lot of damage done.
This is quick.
Thought Twist was going to send it. He gets flashed out, though. He's thinking about it. He really wants to get aggressive into this. They're going to look B again. Seems to be more of a favorite for paiN. Break coming in on the smoke, charging in, throwing caution.
Oh.
Absolutely to the wind. Why? Plenty of time. There was no need to go for it. They broke the smoke to try and rush through, but it was just bad. They don't know what they're doing, man. They don't know what they're doing.
There's no game plan on this T side, unfortunately, for paiN. It's so... Can I keep it loose? The snake could actually... Oh, deal it. It looked pretty good, but it was like next to no damage. And you see, he's crossed. I don't think Snow's going to get the same luxury. Got to be dead to rights, and that's just a slip of the net there. And from behind, seeing off only the 1 casualty. It's a good half from FaZe. it's very worrying from paiN. Their T sides, they lack really any solid game plan. But the CT sides did look a little stronger. We'll give them that credit, of course. Cast your minds back, it was a hot minute ago, but paiN went 8 in a row at the tail end of the half on their CT side. So a lot better there, but feels like FaZe are getting better and better as this game's coming along. And, you know, it's no longer a two-man show. At one point, it was only broky and Jacob. Now we've got Frozen in the play, and Twist is starting to wake up a bit himself.
Love that confidence from broky, though. Trying to find that first pickup, not going to happen for him. Yeah, they were really solid and proactive here on the CT side. We'll see if that continues being the case for paiN. A lot to break down on that T side in sort of, you know, a post-mortem, but done for now. Unless we get another OT here. Arrogant. Thinking, lining some smokes up, but not necessarily going to go for it. I think we're slow build-up on short seems to be the plan here. Again, just immediately something that paiN never really went for on their T side, so we'll see how they handle it.
Smell it the OT, but right now that scent is kind of smelling up map 3. Especially, you know, FaZe, you found this first on the T side. I think the pressure gets to paiN. It's not loads of Utah if they're caught into a retake here, paiN. I think worth keeping an eye on. Kit's on 3 out of the 5. It's VSM and NQZ, you don't carry one.
They're just lobbing the molly with, like, hardly any presence. Flash comes in. That'll confirm for Snow that there's not really anybody around. 30 seconds, and we are just starfished everywhere here on the T side of things. Jacob going to get Big Uzera trying to pull off the aggression, though. 5 versus 3. 20 seconds, man. But they just have control of nothing, awareness of nothing once again. paiN being picked apart in the OT.
Yeah, this is a clinic by FaZe. This is a map 3 brewing for sure. 15 gets punched in with that C4 going down. VSM and NQZ, nothing these two can do. They'll shell up and save, but this one's done. We're going to be heading towards this Mirage. I'm certain of it now. And broky wants to make sure of it. Lovely find by him and by Jacob. The two players who've been consistently great all the way throughout this Dust2 seal the deal in this one and give map point to FaZe. An immaculate recovery, but a completely checked out paiN. The T side was not a good showing, and FaZe have just incrementally got better and better. And I think it's more so as well. It feels like FaZe, they've actually just figured out this side, and to the point where they're so confident now in what's getting thrown at them. Nothing's really catching them astray. Nothing that paiN is throwing at them is catching them off guard. It's a little bit more like it for FaZe. It was a slow end to that first half, which worried us, but instead, mostly one-way traffic. Look at this.
Zera to win out the first. Right, Junior left alone on B, though. Is that going to be to the detriment here? Twist able to line some nades up from this boost box position. Great to see, kind of comical in a sense that he's just, you know, fending off the bullets. An advantage for the CT side. They're going to send VSM flying in. He's not able to find anything. However, Big Uzera on the other side of the same smoke. Bit more success for him. Head still rolling, but Big Uzera is still alive over at this car. It's into the 1 versus 1 now. broky looking to close it out here and now, and he will get it done. It's a third map going to be required. Another overtime. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild, but paiN just running out of ideas entirely into that overtime, in towards the tail end of the game as well. Not quite good enough in the end.
Has to be said, a bit of
You expect big things from them, but paiN also have had a really shaky start to this year. And maybe beyond, actually, for paiN into last year as well. And you can kind of see why, you know, just total disappearance from them as it went to the tail end of regulation into the overtime. There was not a lot on offer from paiN in the end.
Yeah, you kind of just have to say toward that tail end for them, just severely underwhelming. Which is weird now, on this slight handshake of a third map decider, I'm leaning the way of FaZe. I just felt towards that tail end, we got 4 out of 5 on the board. It was only Carrigan who was really kind of the bottom end in terms of the fragging department. Everyone else had a really decent showing of things. So let's see what they got. CT side start for paiN off the back of their knife win. For FaZe, they had some dicey moments on the T sides, as we saw in towards Dust2, but Overtime was recouped a little bit and a lot more like what we expect of them. paiN, who had a really rough T side, I think they've made the smart choice of going CT here and hoping they can build some really solid foundations.
Snow. Waiting. As is Frozen. Who's going to go wide first? It will be Frozen, and he wins out the fight. Could be a pretty big one, to be honest with you. The bomb deciding on what it wants to do, and it will actually join where there's already been blood spilled on plant. The next goal as they maybe try and get out the palace here. I don't know. The setup for the CT side is pretty unorthodox. They're ready for something in towards ramp, maybe a footstep heard, or maybe just making sense. Frozen can't get the kill, but he confirms the location of these Julies. We do have to be careful of them now. Bomb going to go down. In this 4-on-3 situation, it's definitely not secure just yet.
You see, given the luxury of a reload. Nice shot as well from paiN. Here's the steps on a second. And he'll hit the shot as well. He gets the support of VSM to clothesline broky. And it's now all on karrigan. What a recovery from paiN. How have they actually ended up walking away with that round? The opening double go the way of FaZe off the back of Frozen.
I missed it. I was trying to hide a yawn. I missed it.
So good. He was like doing the classic, you know, like laugh and then lock in. That's what VSM did. It was quite,
he's a funny guy, man.
Quite good.
Playing it up for the camera.
I don't know if we can replay the laugh lock in, but like that's kind of how this. That's how this round felt. It was a little bit of a laughing stock at the start there for paiN, and they locked in, and all kills come in a matter of seconds, and yeah, nothing really on offer, unfortunately, for karrigan at that tail end. I just can't believe that FaZe throw that away.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I could definitely see it brewing in my mind's eye. You know, when I gave it across to you in the 4-on-3, I could definitely see it happening, but it's difficult. It's very difficult. I think, you know, FaZe, such an up and down team in this series alone. Long streaks from both sides, comebacks from FaZe more often than not is what gets it done. Surely that is something you just can't keep relying on. Surely there will be a map where you just get rolled over. VSM to peek out and find the first. Riot Jr. looking for a piece of the action as well over here. Meanwhile, in Con, as they try and move up short, the kills are coming for Big Zero. Riot Jr. takes one down. He's looking for the next, and he's going to get it. Fully flawless. You'd expect them to win against the low buy, but usually it takes more work than that.
Yeah, that's really good to see. Just make sure that that round is completely kind of decimated without there being too much on offer. The kind of rounds you want to be seeing. FaZe, we're still unconvinced at the moment. Starts well for VSM. This dive through that smoke there from biggest areas to the top end of connectors. Really, really nice. Another good start for paiN. Map number 1 was his territory and be a little quiet by his standards on map 2. Dropped off kind of quite notably. See him in towards Mirage come alive again. That'll be great. And there he is. Shining tall in this B anchor. It's not a easy job at the best of times, but he seems like he's dealing quite well with it. And the support of VSM on the spam through the wood goes from bad to worse for FaZe as it's all left on the shoulders of Frozen. Yes, he can collect the bomb, but he's got a 1v5 and they're still yet to even do a point of damage.
Ultimately, apart from Frozen's entry in the pistol, I don't think we've really been worried about paiN's campaign here.
Yeah. He's the only one who's got a kill.
Yeah. Not good luck. karrigan with some more vocal, using your hands to speak. That's how you know it's serious. Is it going to be enough to get them back into things, though? It's looking tough. It's looking very, very tough indeed. Rifles out. This is often where things can level out, though, as the real Counter-Strike gets going. But we're going to find out. paiN looking really clean thus far, and if it continues, it could be a quick third map.
Yeah, you're spot on. Early util towards mid. paiN is the one to take a fight, but it works favorably for FaZe. Twists and Jacob trade positively for the T side to take mid control. Start this round off in a 4 versus 3. There's nobody B. Briar has relinquished this control. FaZe are about to walk into a Baron bomb site. paiN might get a move in under, though.
I don't think they heard the crunch, so he could get some ridiculous timing. Obviously going to hear them bursting forwards, and I think he's missed the window, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think he has as well.
Maybe if a player peeks out, though, this will get them interested. The rotation's now coming around. Pryor in a good spot. Can he get the next? Oh, yes, he can. That's so clean on the left eye as well.
8-0.
So clean. He looks set to continue. Can he make it? 10 is maybe what he's saying in the back of his mind here. Meanwhile, the teammate's going to look to join him. Lots and lots of utility available, actually. NQZ looking to place this well, clear out some angles. They're all very split is the problem, so you're going to have to win some one-on-ones. So far, so good. Carrigan doesn't quite know where the player is, but he does get the info late. Cannot make it happen. NQZ takes him down, and it's a 50-50 crunch situation going the way of paiN. paiN Jr., what a savior.
Yeah, NQZ sees off the round, but the praise has to go to paiN. What a showing from him. That second shot is just immaculate. Crosshair placement is second to none, and it honestly buys them an entry back into it. I don't think, without that second kill, I don't think they even properly give this one a look in. They maybe play proactive exits, but he gives them a pathway back in. Great work, and NQZ just making sure at the tail end. paiN continue flawless. This CT side looking good, as it did in regulation on Dust2. It was never the CT sides we were worried about with paiN. This is great, and FaZe squandering opportunities once again. They should have seen that round out.
Yeah, they absolutely know it. I mean, it's something in a fatiguing series that you're going to have to try and minimize those rounds. So difficult to deal with. Only on the stairs. We'll force some fallback, as the utility usage from FaZe in this round does feel kind of curious. You know, the one smoke at jungle, but it's quite a wide smoke, as it were. And then some utility to force them into difficult spots. They'll get smoked off at ramp. NQZ is just begging them to come pushing this smoke. Not going to be the case. It's more Palace where the main move comes in. NQZ drops his position and therefore can't stop them rolling forwards. But it's Big Uzera with an open channel here, looking to find a multi-frag moment. He will. 3 for him. The rest of the team able to work around him. And again, a super clean round. So just one round so far that has felt like a contest, felt like a potential FaZe round. That's it.
It's really good to see for paiN that they've completely kind of shrugged off the tail end of that map too. It's very easy for that to still linger in your mind and you to kind of either be a bit dejected or tilted, but they've just brushed it aside completely. 5-0. Brazilian roster who are loving life in towards Mirage. And we said this was a handshake, but maybe not in terms of like both loving it. They play it a decent amount, but to somewhat limited success, 40% across the board. paiN looking good. They've definitely shored this one up in the pool, at least for now. It's a lower buy as it dives out towards A, but a break on the smoke. NQZ was ready and raring, and he'll net one. Spam is close. NQZ's there again with that orb, and a jump in towards stairs will cost them their life. That is lovely from paiN, making sure it is, for the most part, effortless.
Building up a lot of finances, building up a lot of good feelings here, I would have thought. Looking to just keep that going. You know, we've seen these guys with some pretty good smiles on their face. They got a bit of intensity. They got a bit of happiness rolling around. Some joyful characters. Sometimes need to catch themselves when FaZe start that comeback train, but surely for a third map in a row, if FaZe are going to start the comeback again, it's like as soon as they win a round, you're like, right, timeout.
Yeah.
Remember what happened. Let's just try and keep our heads on straight here. Easier said than done against the likes of FaZe, I suppose.
It's true. I think for paiN, it just, you know, into every single round, you're looking at someone like, actually kind of the more sort of older players in the team. Sam's your biggest errors. I mean, especially biggest error. So much experience, right? You look into him to just continue saying, don't get comfortable. Don't allow them any opportunity. A lot of retake utility scattered in towards the spawn. A dive in towards short by VSM on the edge of that smoke. Will net the first, but a quick trade by broky keeps the numbers level. But it's good information gathered by VSM nonetheless. Oh, and it's a missed, labored spray by Jacob. Down he goes. Same can't be said for Frozen. Nice find.
More required on this contact move if he is to make us believe in the round. Pryor Jr. mollied forwards. You know he's there. They will take the fight cleanly against him as well. Big Uzera bested. It's not even Frozen that's required. It's the fast approach towards connector that makes the difference. Little back of the heel spot, but NQZ trying to find an easier fight. Takes the bomb planter. Flash over the top. They're giving him full respect here. No real reface coming in. He knows there's one at Tetris. It's this other player he's not quite sure of.
Get out.
Frozen's done well there to just eliminate the fight completely. Force NQZ further and further and further away from that bomb. Can he get this kill at ramp? And then he's got a real brief window to get the next. Carrigan not actually watching him. Lets him cross in. Tap onto the bomb. Carrigan, though, playing this pretty well. Takes it slow and makes sure to find that frag.
Yeah, counts down at his head well, Carrigan there, just making sure. He kind of had to stick it as well. That was the issue with it. Not to be. Finally a round on the board for FaZe. A lot of which you could argue that kill from Frozen gives them nice space to work with. And the reposition was actually really good as too. It just drags NQZ away from the site and it just kills so much of the clock he was trying to utilize. Small things that compile. First on the board, finally. Well, the T side, but they're hoping for the first of many. Just to shore up a little bit of this T side, have something to fall back on. We're at 8-4 halves for both of our maps 1 and 2. Honestly, kind of getting 4 rounds towards the tail end wouldn't be the terrible thing for FaZe, to be honest.
No, that is for damn certain. Being definitely feeling tested. Not quite as confident with the early round. Just letting the action come to them a bit more. FaZe going to make plenty of noise in towards middle here. Got that smoke set up to seemingly go up short. They have other ideas with Frozen again finding space at ramp. Eliminates Big Uzera. The move up connector now looks pretty confident. Yeah. Shots landing. VSM good for one. Oh, does get taken down eventually. The team's fallen down around him though. So not looking likely. paiN Jr. eliminates a couple. Wait a minute. Might give this a look. There's cash available. They'll definitely be buying into the next round, so why not give it a try? There is an AWP available there for him to pick up if he wants. And he's kind of thinking about that, I think, with no kill coming in here. He's like, there is an AWP there, there is an AWP there. Just going to drop away. Second round for FaZe.
paiN continues to be such a threat, though. His 10th kill. In 8 rounds played, but FaZe are putting back-to-back rounds on the board, which is good for them. The buy around will be pretty easy for paiN. It's only Snow who needs to drop over. paiN can feasibly do, pretty simply. He's got about 5k in the back pocket for him with that all saved over, but nice work. VSM, he was kind of the last line of defense when he gets tagged out to 3 points of HP and then dead in the smoke. Not, unfortunately, loads you can do in a spot like that. FaZe gonna call for a timeout. Moment to discuss. Not even too much being said here. Hi, Carrigan. For FaZe, they realize they're in a pretty commanding position with those 2 rounds. They know that they're finally putting pressure on towards paiN, and they're finally finding gaps as well. A lot of which feels like it comes off the back of Frozen. This space he's taken towards A is being so important.
Yeah, most certainly. But it has to keep coming. This is the problem, you know. It has to keep delivering, and I just don't know that that's going to be the case when paiN are able to readjust. Once again, FaZe with a slow start. They have yet to be massively punished for that, to be honest. You know, making it to 2 overtimes after slow starts 1, which you win. Feels like paiN not doing quite a good enough job of cleaning up. Hopefully this time, as we've said a couple times now, they're able to realize that and they're able to come back into things.
Spam both sides. That somehow they both evade. Jacob also just about evades the HE. That feels like it blows up right at his feet. Just tucked on the wall. Any serious damage. Snow as that ramp smoke is starting to fade to reposition, but it'll replenish. Keep FaZe slowed down. Ramp is where they've been getting a lot of luxury in these last couple of rounds won, so there's a real priority put on it now by paiN, which is a nice little adjustment by them.
Yeah, Frozen can't be up to his usual shenanigans. Smoke is going to dissipate here, though. Oh, flash comes in. It's not good enough. Frozen, really the master of ramp at the moment. Despite what they throw at him, he is still able to get that opening kill. That all-important kill, potentially. Another burst up connector. Jacob already in a good spot. Trades come thick and fast. The AWP locked in over at the toll booth, left incredibly low. Molly surely has to find him. However, it does burst a little awkwardly. He still gets taken down. FaZe looking really good. Great move from them, and it's that C word, that conditioning. Frozen using it to perfection. Knows that ramp is just the most obvious patch for paiN, and he plays it brilliantly.
Yeah. I love the little pause call made as well. Especially after that second smoke that's thrown by Snow. Very easy in spots like that for teams to sort of cancel and look elsewhere, but they hold and wait and catch them napping. Pariah with the AWP. Catch one, looking for a second. He'll take a tag. He's very fortunate to stay alive at the end here. More than able to see him off. broky trying to barrel down his position and a drive-by PT50. Well, nothing saved, nothing gained for paiN. And look where we are now. It's FaZe who are very quickly closing the gap and actually making something of this first half. And considering the 6-0 start for paiN, I didn't really think that was going to be a possibility, but they've got a decent kind of runway to work with now. There will be, you know, a buyback in place, but it's not going to be a super fantastic one for Biggest Era and Snow in a bit of an awkward financial spot. So maybe just MP9s for them if they want a bit of armor and utility.
It feels like as well, this paiN side oftentimes take, maybe not every single timeout, but most of the timeouts feel like they come when they're in like dire financial straits.
Yeah.
I worry that some of these timeouts are just being spent talking about what we're going to do guns-wise, and, you know, you get this, and can you drop me that, and whatever, just because it takes a bit more talking.
Yeah.
Rather than going over what appears to be a problem, what adjustments they can make. Maybe it's half and half if I give them the benefit of the doubt, but I do worry slightly that the timeouts are not quite as valuable as they potentially could be, and thus FaZe, are they going to be tested again into this round?
Because Era's got to trust the MP7. We got a chance to, I'm right in saying, was it speak to NQZ at IM Krakow? And he was saying, because Era's one of the best MP7 users he's seen at the pro level. So,
well,
he's also one of the few people who'd been using it for a while prior to the buff. It's a weapon, while it seems like a lesser investment for him, he's actually more than happy to use it.
Minute gone here, and we've not really moved anywhere on either side. Re-smoke of the window. Try and feign some mid-presence, and you see Twist here making a move by himself, having to run 1, 2, and 8, and well, not quick enough. NQZ flicks up to take him down. Meanwhile, the B hit coming in here. They were hoping Twist would be enough of a distraction. Is that going to be the case? It seems. Maybe not. Pryor Jr. still over at Get Right, able to hold for one, looking for a bit more. He runs out of ammo, but so well placed there. Meanwhile, rotation's going to start rolling in. Bomb does go down. Molotov forces Frozen out into the open. broky can't pull off one of those crazy clutches. And it will be paiN back on the board after a little brief hiatus.
Yeah, it looked like he actually somehow stays alive longer than he probably should have there, broky, at that end, but the one kill to find. So paiN will guarantee a lead at the move in towards the second half, which is a positive thing to find, especially on that CT side. And this being Mirage, which we know has that CT lean. And for FaZe on the flip side as well, how do they react after their momentum's cut short and they're finally forced back into this back and forth a little bit? As we've seen for both of these sides throughout this series, it's so streaky. I think the worry for FaZe is potentially if paiN streak the last couple of rounds in their favor. Put you in an awful spot. I mean, you lose this one, FaZe, you're actually in trouble for round number 12. This is the last of your finances brought here. Despite the 3 rounds in a row that you end up getting, it did come at quite a cost, which has always chipped at the economy. Maybe going to be an air of caution for the penultimate of the half.
Certainly, again, feels that way. You know, been a slow-going kind of round, some early utility out. But one of the big things paiN have maybe changed up is that they're just not looking at mid at all. Really nice adjustment from them here as well, in the fact that FaZe have loved going for these connector bursts. And, well, they've got a man in the con. They've also got 4 on A ready to go at a moment's notice. Frozen dealt with, goodness gracious, a clinic in on the A-bomb site, and so well read that FaZe would go back to their tried and true A hits. Very well set up.
That's a lot more like it for paiN. Those back-to-back rounds, and especially the dominance at which they find that round too, massively helps their scenario, their situation. A bomb pump might have allowed FaZe to squeeze out a nice true buy-in towards this final of the half, but as you can see, without it, and with only the 1 consolation kill, it is far from good enough. Triple deagle. Double Tech 9. They've at least got a fair amount of utility.
It's true.
I mean, I would actually have minded like a hero rifle here.
Yeah, just 1 to help the cause, but we'll see.
Whose hands do you put it in? Frozen, I guess? I mean, no one's really having a barn burner of a map is the only issue, right? So
no one's feeling good enough to be like, actually, can I get an AK? You know, I don't think anyone's necessarily brave enough to ask.
We've had 8-4 in all 4 of our regulation halves so far. So I think it's just in the air today. I think maybe this is the 4th for FaZe.
I think it might break the trend. Right, Junior.
A 1 DK from Jacob will stop it. Just you wait.
Lives for now. Teammate coming in.
Oh.
He's able to take the first. Looking for a little more here. And, well, we've got VSM spraying down. The AWP just kind of needs to stay alive at this point. NQZ comes in with his AWP. Carrigan, good for 1, but that is all. It's going to be down to broky. Up against 4. Does not happen.
Trend
and the
broken.
trend is a broken. The smell of 9-3 at the tail end of that half. We're going to find out here if things continue on for paiN. FaZe looking out of energy once again. Dejected faces over there. And we'll see if the Counter-Strike is able to deliver in the same way it has all series, or if it is the end of the road in this series for FaZe.
back in. That is a stunner of a showing from paiN in the first half there. Their CT looking electric. They put 9 on the board. And now it's over to FaZe to respond. We critiqued the paiN T sides on Dust2. So there's still an air of caution floating around about whether paiN are going to fall back into the same problems there and then. But we'll wait and see. They're going to dive in towards the B side. Only one man to meet them. It's the IGL, it's Carrigan, who's there to try and hold down the fort. He has a bit of support from short, but he's got to hit at least a couple of these shots. Frozen will find one through the smoke, but backside, down goes Carrigan. Frozen answers with another through that smoke as they're still causing problems, but it's a 3 versus 3, and the bomb goes down, and a triple rotate through that short smoke as they dive on through. This could be a bloodbath, but Frozen puts up another on the board. The P250 not cleared. It's all on Big Azera to bail them out here. A 1 versus 2, and he can't get anything. FaZe just about start well.
Yeah, that is close. 1 or 2 more well-placed bullets, right? Couple low players, etc. Really, really quite challenging to figure out. Does not happen for paiN. So time will tell here if FaZe can mount another comeback or not. It starts off well. It starts off lucky with Frozen through that smoke. I'm very curious now. We do have a buy from paiN. They get the bomb down. NQZ having an AK dropped across. He's got a full belt of utility as well. At the sacrifice to VSM. But it might have been prior, actually. There's 2 players without armor and 2 AKs indeed. Snow making 1 work.
Might drop
really
it over
could
now.
Go either way.
Well, actually,
no, yeah, those 2 players just don't have armor.
Yeah, there's on 2 dropping over to.
Yeah.
Prior on a Deagle, though, is as good. Well, no, there you go. He's going to drop it. Yeah, so 100 HP VSM is probably it's better than an 11 HP armor. And then VSM now has to take a little bit of like a more entry role where NQZ becomes a supporting element rather than vice versa. It is worth saying, though, Pariah on a Deagle is as good as a kind of maybe like the
with
equivalent of like yeah, it's like it's sort of the equivalent in my mind of like an AK half armor is Pariah on a Deagle, as we saw in towards Nuke. But it has been a hot minute since then. It's a very good map though. His Dust2 was pretty underwhelming and large in part on that T side as well.
Slow creep towards A here after their first kill, looking to go for a conventional A execute. A lot of M4s over on the FaZe clan side. No flashes, no kit is kind of the big thing when you're looking at a retake here. Smoke will go down to slow them though. I do like that smoke usage, pretty clever. Can they work around it here on the T side of things? Well, the answer is yes, it's paiN Jr. on the Deagle to find 2, but a flurry of frags. It's VSM in all the carnage to find that all-important kill.
Mog them, my king. Mog them. That is it. Androgenic, or whatever his name is, and Clavicula will be proud.
Of course. Oh, God, the worst timeline. The less said about them. I can't stand them. I cannot stand them. They're also just not nice people.
Are they not?
No, really not nice people when you watch like the clips and stuff.
I just see them mogging. And one of them bolding.
Yeah. Happens
to the best of us. But not for VSM. What a round from him. A dive in towards ramp. Potentially around this corner. No. He fumbles a chance there. And actually, Jacob's 5-7 going to deliver on one himself. These force spike rounds can be precarious if not played properly, and Big Azera does receive a little dink, a love tap from short.
The key thing is it's the bomb that gets dropped.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of info over the CT side. They're doing well here. I like the fact that, you know, man advantage plus a dink. Actually not going to try and hold the bomb. So paiN are going to get that back, but can they actually do anything with it, I suppose? Is the question. Anyone going to pick up the bomb? DSM maybe in a moment. Big Azera, good timing find from him onto Carrigan.
B's open.
Oh, the flash comes in. VSM.
Unnecessary.
Huh. I feel like he had a really good angle there to, you know, spot and do some damage before they peeked into him. But I think he's maybe on the level of like, look at me, you know, like trying to distract away from this B play that's going on right now.
Because Air is actually in a pretty decent spot, though. Bomb planted. Because Air up close, he's going to be really caught by this flash. He should be dead to rights, but a response of a flash from the T side. Pariah will keep him in the conversation. A little swift backflip. But it's FaZe who recover off the back of twists for 2. And they will lose to the force buy. FaZe aren't done just yet.
Well, the madness may well be set to continue here. As FaZe just looking absolutely fantastic, given the chance on these low-buy guns, getting aggressive, getting in the face. It is VSM though, you know what I mean? He could have shot some toes off and got traded, maybe.
It just feels so unnecessary.
It's a wild move.
Yeah, it's a wrong read of that situation for sure.
And I think it's the AK they end up using.
No, it is.
To get the kills in the end. So
it's the red and white one. I forget its name now.
Whoopsie daisy.
Snow. Nice swing. Nice find. Instant response. broky at a fantastic map number 2 is nowhere to be seen really here. He started, I think it was 0-6 for him, and it's not really got much better. Snow will swing back in. NQC for 2 in quick succession. Oh, the force buy wars are very prevalent here, it seems. It's Karrigan left in a 1 versus 3. We kind of assumed we'd be in for a wild map number 3, but this one is all over the shop.
Karrigan is on the wrong side of the map. So round is over for my money.
He can wrap mid, get a gun. Maybe.
Yeah, but I think he will look for that and then just save.
Yeah,
there's no hope of him getting back into this one.
Yeah, no kit, no chance.
Really cheesy move from paiN that they like going for is getting that first spawn out middle before the smoke lands and just catching the window player off guard. Something that's actually caught FaZe twice now.
Oh, he's having a nap.
Yeah.
Me.
Kind of valid. Oh, screenshot.
Just saving that one. Like that image. That's the
me when CTs are saving, or you know, I'm dead.
That's the new background for the PC. Will he get a gun? I don't know what guns are potentially even here. Ooh, yes, well he gets it at the worst possible time. Nade over. Now costing his life. NQZ actually a really good round from him. The 2 quick kills in top mid are fantastic, and he seals the deal with the deagle at the end. Nice work by paiN. They are so close to the finish line now.
The slow-mo sounds crazy.
Me, indeed.
Sounds like a noise I've heard before, you know, but I just can't quite place it.
It kind of reminds me of Iron Man charging up his...
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever they're called. Hand cannons?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that into it.
What are the big circles on his hand?
Yeah, big laser beam circle thing.
I'm not really a Marvel movie person. I've seen most of them, but like once.
They're like good, they're good fun. They're not really something that you get deep into the lore.
Yeah, exactly. That's some people's thing.
Me personally, I really enjoy the pop culture references. I think they're brilliant.
We've become Game of Thrones people recently. That's our thing.
Well, I've been for a while, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Alt-Shift-X on YouTube one time for like the super deep episode breakdowns.
There we go. Keeping you in the know.
You get an hour-long episode plus like a 45-minute breakdown from this guy who knows everything. Trust me, man. It's good stuff. It's really good content.
Flash in. VSM going to be sent into the fray, and the first is good. The second, a little laboured, but will get it nonetheless. It's left very low, so there should be a trade on the cards here, and there is. But a dive down from Bigger Zero will give them space, and now the A site's taken, and it's all on the shoulders of Karrigan. This was a force buy from FaZe to stay alive in this series, and they surely have squandered it now. It's all on his shoulders. He's a known quantity. It's not even really probably worth saving this deagle. You may as well give this a look in. Half armor, no kit, no util, and no damn chance. paiN, map and series point for them as they hit 12.
A bridge too far this time around. They built quite a few long bridges, to be honest, to mount multiple comebacks so far in this series. One unsuccessful in the end, one successful, and that's why we are indeed here. But it's a lot of work for FaZe to keep that going. A slow start that this time they will not be able to come back from. That's a lot to ask of any team. Once in a blue moon, this happens. Once in a blue moon, FaZe are making headlines. However, NQZ, other ideas. It's VSM to help him out there. 2 remain for FaZe. This will be all she wrote, and 0-2 awaits FaZe. Very, very scary stuff, as you know, we've talked about the graveyard and things not looking good for them this year. Hasn't been any serendipitous Cinderella run, really.
Yeah.
And without that, they start to lose a bit of stock with the management, I am sure.
I think, yeah, spot on. The remaining 2. It's Frozen, it's broky, who both looked good in towards the previous map, but broky's tailed off here in Mirage, and Frozen's had his moments, but it's a long rotate over for him. One will go down. broky can't deny. He will get one. He does deny. The spam will find the head of Snow. It still shouldn't cause too much of a ruckus. Biggest Zero will go looking towards CT, but Frozen's up close here as well. A swing and a find. 2 versus 3. Maybe some legs behind this. Just don't fall asleep just yet. NQZ though, here's up. Rings off for 1. And a missed spray seals the deal by VSM. They may have squandered the chance in map number 2, but paiN, that is a clinic on Mirage, and they send FaZe down to the 0-2 bracket. They are in a dangerous position, FaZe.
Yeah, for sure, right?